Oh, do 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 do. Ding ding ding. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Rimaru Tempest, what's up? Joe Cool, what's up? Greetings from Puerto Rico. What's up, Rebel Heart? What's going on? How are you guys doing on this Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday, right? This Wednesday afternoon. I think that's enough. That's enough. I gotta post this. Where are we? So if I just watched your canceled video and I haven't read those 4chan or Twitter comments yet, which one? I put up two. I put up two canceled videos. Are we talking about the first canceled video? Are we talking about the first canceled video or the? I just put up that second earlier this morning. You know, I got to get back. I got to make that. I have to make that second Street Fighter video. Actually, I was trying to make what I would do to change Street Fighter. So I got to post that shit actually. But anyway, Stone Cold Panda, hello guys, what's up? Blind 3D, what's up? Remaru Tempest, what's up, dude? I just got done working out and I ate a little bit, and now I'm gonna relax for an hour or so and stream before I gotta force myself to practice my Japanese. I was informed today that I was canceled. When I woke up today, I was apparently canceled. I was told on Twitter, because apparently it was racist of me to say that I like big lips and I like black girls, and that is very racist, and I didn't realize that. Neither did Pikachu. I think anyone that watches my stream knows it. The lips are some of the only things I have a bias towards. I didn't realize that made me racist, but apparently it does. Frank Rain, whoa. Free Range Funk Testament. What's up, dude? Rebel Heart, I can confirm it's Wednesday. Joe Cool, this Wednesday, it feels like an oven. Stone Cold Panda, I'm very bored. We're weird. It's breezy over here right now. The second one about you being racist, but yeah. So I didn't even realize, people will try to spin the story whatever they want. And the thing is, like I was saying, I don't support Chris G per se, right? I don't support Chris G per se. I posted on Twitter. I was like, first of all, as I always say, and people can say, Clayton, you are selfish, right? You know what I mean? Okay, I'm selfish, but I'm not as selfish as you. So what's the problem, right? I've never said I'm not selfish. I can be a selfish person, but at least I'm not selfish in trying to, get something out. So anyway, the whole point was people are going crazy about this Chris G thing, right? And of course, my horse in the race, as I always say, is I said, well, you motherfuckers are fake. It's very hypocritical. I also said, is what Chris G said. Okay, how about this? Everyone can write in the comments right now. Do you think what Chris G said, and maybe Chris G is a racist, I don't know. You can tell me, is he something, I have a friend that told me he thinks Chris G is a fucking bigot and he doesn't like him. Fair enough. I would say bigot is a little bit lower than racist, but a friend told me that Chris G is a bigot just earlier today, and he's like, fuck him, he's a bigot, I don't care. I would say bigot is right below racist, but that's what he told me. But continuing the story, right? So the point is what Chris G said more inappropriate than what Mike Z said? Again, leave me in the comments. Do you think what Chris G said is more inappropriate than what Mike Z said? And do you think what Chris G said is more inappropriate than what James Chen said? Because James Chen got caught saying the N-word multiple times just a few years ago, and he said he didn't know it was a bad word and it was a different time. I mean, That's kind of hard to even say. That sounds stupid. And I've met James Chen before. I've met Mike Z before. I don't have anything, against them per se. You know what I mean? But I don't think what they said was appropriate either, and they didn't get canceled, right? So basically, Chris G got fired apparently because So again, again, like I said, you guys can tell me what you think is worse. The whole story was, I guess these evil genius guys, they asked Chris G. They said, "We'll fire you unless you move to Seattle." So he moved to Seattle, and then they fired him anyway because he made some comments a few years ago. He said that black girls think that they're good at video games when they're not. And my response to that was, well, actually, most people who think they're good at video games are not good at video games. So that's what I said as well. And so, I mean, if anything, I guess I'm kind of, is that sticking up for people? I mean, that's what I said. I was like, well, actually, most people that think they're good at video games, right? And then he also said that black girls just want to hit him up for sex. And so my way to make this comment lighter was, well, I don't know what's wrong with that. And everyone knows that I like black girls, and because I like big lips. And then people tried to spin that as me being racist. And they're like, I can't believe someone actually on Twitter messaged me, or they posted, and it should still be there. They said that, first of all, it's not a black girl, it's a black woman. This is Pikachu rolling his eyes right now. Oh my God. Simple man. What a simple man. Oh my God. You called a black girl not a black woman. I'm sorry, sir. Thank you for correcting me. Anyway, you know what I mean? And then he said, saying that you like big lips is just as racist as saying that you like Asian girls for their tiny, squinty eyes. Have you ever heard of anything so fucking stupid? I've never heard anyone say that in my entire life. I mean, again, put in the comments, has anyone ever heard anyone say that in their entire life? Man, I choked up. It was so stupid, I choked up. I have never heard in my entire life anyone ever go up to an Asian girl and tell them, I like you because of your tiny, squinty eyes. Who the fuck says that, dude? That is absolutely fucking ridiculous. But apparently, that is the same as me saying that I like black girls and I like big lips. So, of course. And that's why I was like, well, I guess Chris G doesn't like girls trying to have sex with him. Chris G doesn't like these black girls trying to have sex with him. And then I was like, well, I don't know what's wrong with that, dude. And everyone knows that I like black girls. I like big lips. I'm all about it. Didn't say it to be racist. I was saying it to like add a little lighthearted comment to the end of it. But apparently that made me racist to say. And that just goes to show the agenda of the community, right? Of how like fake everyone is, right? So I'm like, and here's the thing. I don't support Chris G per se. I don't know Chris G. Hell, for all I know, Chris G could fucking hate me. I can't keep up with everyone that hates me, right? But my question is, again, is what Chris G said more inappropriate than what Mike Z said and what James Chen said? And I think that comment from what he said is not more inappropriate than what Mike Z said and what James Chen said. Right? Yeah, so Mike Z made the I can't breathe comment. That's what, and like I said, I would actually say, and I don't have anything against Mike Z. I've met him a couple times. We have no problem, right? I've also met James Chen a couple of times. I have no problem, right? But I would actually say that what Mike Z said and what James Chen said is just as inappropriate. Again, you guys can let me know. I think it's extremely inappropriate for someone to go around calling other people the N-word and then to post later that he didn't know it was bad and it was a different time when it was just a few years ago. And James Chen is older than me. That is completely fucked up. You know what I mean? I don't think that's appropriate whatsoever. But he wasn't canceled, right? So that's the kind of hypocrisy I'm talking about in the community, right? But they tried to spin it that they tried to turn that into me saying that I'm racist because Chris G doesn't like black girls, but I said I like black girls, and everyone knows I love big lips, so of course I do. That was kind of the joke to lighten everything else, the serious discussion. Because of course, if anyone watches my videos, when we talk about girls, I'm always like, man, I love girls with big lips. That's the one thing I fucking like, dude. Anyway. Yeah, no, I've never heard the I thing either. That's completely racist. To even fucking say that's the same thing. To even say that same thing, that's the same thing is completely fucking weird. Because that would be like, here's my thing. What if I go up to a black dude and I'm like, hey man, you got a BBC? Well, first of all, you might think I'm gay if I say that, right? But if I say that a black dude is packing a BBC, is that racist? Am I fetishizing the black man for having a bigger dick than me? I mean, he can pass me a few inches. Actually, a few inches, my dick would probably look ridiculous. So I don't know about a few inches. Maybe just a couple inches. I don't want like a fucking crazy dick. I'll take a couple inches, right? You know what I mean? So the point is, if I go to a black dude and I talk about their BBC, am I fetishizing a black man? Right? I mean, really? So you got these social justice warriors who are mad because I said that I like black girls because everyone knows that I prefer big lips, right? You know what I mean? That's a pretty known thing that anyone watches my stream. Everyone that asks me about girls, what kind of girls do you like, Clayton? I fucking love big lips. It's one of the only things that I like. It's one of the only things that I'm biased towards. I like nice lips. But that's racist? But you're going to tell these social justice warriors that these girls that want to have sex with them because of their BBC is not racist? Like, I mean, dude, come on. You are such a fucking simp and so fucking fake. It's ridiculous. I mean, come on. I could also say I have girls, some girls, like, you know what I mean? You know, some girls can like come up to me and they will tell me like a certain demographic, like girls a little bit older than me, right? Or actually much older than me, I should say, probably, right? I feel like the generation before me, you know what I mean? A lot of people grew up in America, and you can still probably see kind of in classic cartoons, an idea of a stereotypical white dude was probably like a blonde hair, blue-eyed kind of dude, right? And I know like a lot of older girls like me because of that, because I have like a very kind of stereotypical look. They like the blonde hair, blue eyes. But I could actually tell you as well, I know a lot of girls who have told me they think I look too stereotypical American. They don't like how blonde hair, blue eyes that I am. Now, do I think that's racist of them to say that? Do you know what I mean? I mean, do I think that's racist to say that? I mean, it kind of sucks for me because if they're hot, fuck, I wish they liked me. But I don't think I've ever thought anyone is racist for saying that, you know, I don't like the blonde hair, blue eye look. You know what I mean? I don't think that's racist. And just on my same token, I tend to generally not care about girls with blonde hair, blue eyes myself. It's just not something I'm tend to, it's not something I'm in. I don't have that kind of, generally speaking, blonde hair, blue eye, white girl, right? I don't tend to have that kind of it's not like a thing for me, I guess, right? Anyway, where are we? Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's really common on Latinas and black chicks. Yeah. So, you know, I tend to like, I would say actually my favorite is probably mixed race, right? I don't know, is red bone racist? Is that like a racist term to call someone a red bone? I know that's kind of like, that's a term that some people use for like half a mixed girl, right? You know what I mean? But I don't know, is red bone a racist term? I don't know. I don't know if red bone is a racist term, but that's a term I've heard people call, you know. I like mixed girls, you know. I like Latina girls, you know what I mean? I would actually say, you know, I don't know. I like big lips. Never didn't know it made me racist to like big lips, you know? Guess it's racist that I think black dudes have big dicks. I'm jealous. I didn't realize that me being jealous of the BBC means that, I mean, but of course people wouldn't say that, right? Of course people wouldn't say that, right? Oh, no, it's not the same. You talking about how big my dick is not the same as you saying you like a black girl that has big lips. Why not? I mean, that's kind of the narrative you're trying to spin here, right? You definitely seem to have a fucking agenda. Again, I'm not hating on you. I'm jealous. Give me a couple inches of the BBC. I'll take it. I only need a couple inches. I'm not trying to have like a hentai penis, but I'll take a couple extra inches. Sure. Actually, maybe I'll just take an inch and give me 1 inch of girth. You know what I mean? Man, packing some fucking heat, right? You know, but I mean, that's not, I don't think that's fetishizing a black man. I'm not gay. I respect the dick game. I respect that you got a big dick. That's fucking sweet. That's props to you, dude. I wish I had that. Does that make me racist for talking about the BBC? I don't know. I guess apparently it makes me, I mean, this is so fucking stupid. Yeah. Anyway. Simon Gillard, what's up, dude? You just said you like the stereotypical black. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so ridiculous. This stuff is so Philip Cypher. It's just like some of this stuff, Blue Eyes White Dragon. I'm like, some of this stuff is like so ridiculous, this cancel culture thing. And like I said, my only horse in the game is to comment on the hypocritical nature of everything. Because I know you guys don't care. All these dudes that were flaming me, you guys sure as fuck didn't. I didn't see you guys defending me while I was just in the hospital getting my tumor checked, while people were making up lies about me. Excuse me. No one. I didn't see you, motherfuckers. Where was your social justice warrior for Clayton? Nope. Sorry, Clayton. But sorry, Clayton. But you said you like black girls and Chris G doesn't, so that means you're racist. Well, fuck. Damn. I like big butts too. Does that make me racist? Funny thing about the video game community too is the video game community, there's a stereotype in the video game community that all these guys like Asian girls too. I mean, if anyone is fucking fetishizing people, the video game community has a fetish for Asian girls, right? Isn't that the whole thing, the yellow fever thing that people talk about? I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say red bone is like light skin, right? I mean, I don't think red bone is, I don't know. Black girls, Latina girls, yeah, I love it. I'm down with it. Give me a couple inches of the BBC. Yeah, sure, dude. Does that make me racist? I respect the dick game. I respect your dick game, dude. I don't know. I don't think just I come in, I hear the first thing is here. Give me some of the BBC. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. What's going on, dude? Imagine, and of course, you know what though? Of course, they don't comment on that stuff, right? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, dude, what's up, dude? I like unbelievable. You think someone is racist or fetishizing you because you have big lips. That's what I like. Well, what do you like? Do you like a small butt? Do you like an old man butt? Why are you fetishizing this person's old man butt, you fucking racist bigot? I don't fucking care. Maybe you like old man butt. Well, okay. I think that's fucking weird as hell, but that doesn't make you racist for liking old man butt. Man, maybe you like poopy old man butt. Some flat fucking ass. Maybe you like that. I don't know. I think that's pretty weird to me, but I wouldn't say you're racist for liking an old man butt. Right? I mean, I don't know. We all like what we like. I think it's called a preference. I think the correct English word would be I have a preference for something. I prefer nice and full lips. It just so happens that African Americans often tend to have nice full lips. Is that strange? But I mean, man, look at my Twitter. My Twitter, they sure as fuck, that was racist as fuck. And they're like, Clayton is canceled. Clayton, you're the next to be canceled. Damn, okay. How much fucking lolly porn do you guys have on your computer, you fucking nerds? I mean, like, really? The fucking video game community? The video game community that just plays video games about being a middle schooler all the fucking time? That lives in a world where they never grow up? That plays middle school characters all the time? That jack off to anime every single day? I mean, who's the one with the real problem here, dude, right? Christ, dude, right? It's fucking weird as hell. Anyway, where are we? I come in the first thing. Yep. I think mixed girls and Asian girls are housewives. Yeah, yeah. You might be racist if you don't. How dare you call someone a? You shouldn't even. You should not even. You actually said girl, and like I said, I was apparently told that you cannot refer to a girl as a girl. A girl is a woman. I was also told that. I was told, Clayton, first of all, saying that you like black girls, you should be saying you like black women because that's inappropriate. You know. Next thing, neighbors are loud outside. Let me shut the door. Time out. Wait a second. Anyway, where are we? Where are we? Personally, I'm into big booty Japanese girls. Does that make me racist? You've objectified the Japanese girl. First of all, it's a Japanese woman, okay? You can't say girl because that makes you a racist fucking bigot. And second of all, you objectified them. Doesn't matter. Can you like imagine we live like objectifying someone does not have to be from a negative perspective, right? Objectifying someone does not have to mean from like an evil place, a malicious place in you, right? You can objectify someone in a positive way. When you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a significant other, don't you objectify them in a positive way, right? Well, the whole lolly porn illegal thing, the whole thing I brought that up is the whole video game community. You got all these nerds that just watch, anime and video games, and they post their pictures of like just middle school people all the time. Everyone is like, has like a Jesus Christ. I guess I said I like big lips. That means I fetishize black people, I guess, right? You know what I mean? Like, dude, the whole video game community actually has a thing, that yellow fever thing. Like I had never even heard the term yellow fever before I got into the video game community, right? You know what I mean? I mean, like, damn, you guys have a literal term in the video game community called yellow fever. Like, it sounds like the only one that's kind of like, fetishizing someone is, I would say that's more of a fetishizing term, right? So, but hey, right? We live in an age of snakes using keyboards. Yeah. Wait a minute. Didn't Clayton get? Yeah. I was gonna say like, yeah. People are canceling me. Like I thought I already got canceled. Didn't I get canceled? I was winning all those tournaments while I was sick, and people said it didn't happen. And then when I just did combo videos, people said I cheated to get people to not watch my videos. Right. So where are we? I'm dead. I could take a couple hundred. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that racist for me to say that I wish I had a BBC? Is that me fetishizing the black man? I don't know. I think I'm giving a compliment. I'll just take a couple inches. I don't need a few. I'm not greedy. I'll just take a couple inches of the BBC. You know? I don't know. I'm giving you a compliment. Does that mean that I'm racist against black people because, I respect the dick game? I'm just saying, dude, that's fucking sweet. Good for you. But of course, these social justice warriors, me saying that I like big lips and black girls tend to have big lips, nice full lips, that's what I like. That's my preference on girls. That makes me racist. But these social justice warriors, if someone likes them for their BBC, that's not fetishizing them? Like what? I don't know. I mean, again, the hypocritical nature of the video game community, right? I would actually say I think the social justice warrior thing is kind of it's kind of reminding me of that thing of what is it? It's that kind of stereotype that everyone who says they're the most religious are kind of like the most fucked up. That's kind of like the social justice warrior thing I get. I get a lot of these people that are like, man, you guys are kind of you're actually the most fucked up people, it sounds like. You know what I mean? Where I'm getting greetings from Saudi Arabia. Abdul Saud, what's up, dude? So you're from Saudi Arabia. Have you ever smelled? Fuck, I'm getting a fragrance from Saudi Arabia. I ordered a sample of something. I'm gonna have to look it up. You're gonna have to, I don't know if you're into fragrances, I guess, but Tengu Veg Express, what's up? Clayton, I need some advice in getting into FGC Street Fighter V tournaments, what to do and avoid. Well, I don't enter tournaments anymore, so I don't really have Montserrat's Red Tobacco to try it again. And I can't get over that opening. The opening of Red Tobacco really is off-putting, and I wasn't feeling that good yesterday. And that is definitely a fragrance. Like, there are certain fragrances that if I'm not feeling too good, they like really bother me. And I almost had to wash it off because I was like, I just don't think I can get through this. But anyway, they're saying you're racist. So here's my thing. And you guys can give, like I said this at the beginning of the stream. You can put in the comments. Whoa, what happened? That was weird. Almost lost my chat for a second. I don't know what the fuck happened right there. Lost my train of thought. And you can put in the comments. This is what I said. I'm not friends with Chris G. This has nothing to do with that. I only am here to talk about the hypocrisy of the video game community. So I said, is what Chris G said more inappropriate than what Mike Z said? I don't necessarily think so it is. I don't think so. Is what Chris G said, more inappropriate than what James Chen said? James Chen, who is older than me, said he didn't know the N-word was a bad word when he's been using it. I mean, come on, dude. That's pretty fucking suspect. That's hard for me to even say. I just don't believe it. It sounds fucking weird. I think that's inappropriate. So again, what is the level of inappropriateness? Because they all seem inappropriate, potentially inappropriate to me. So it's extremely hypocritical. And I'm canceled because I was commenting on that. I was like, this whole situation is extremely hypocritical. And then he said that, what did he say? His comment was, black girls think that they're good at video games, but they aren't good at video games. So I said, well, most people who think they're good at video games are not good at video games, right? I mean, right? That's just what it is, right? And then he said black girls just want to have sex with him. And to make the conversation lighter, to end it, I was like, I don't know what the problem with that is. If girls want to have sex with you, isn't that pretty cool? I mean, geez, I like black girls because everyone knows that I love big lips. And that's true. Anyone that watches my streams, anyone that ever watches me and asks me about girls, Clayton, what kind of girls do you like? The only thing I kind of like is lips. I like nice full lips on girls. That's the only thing I am biased towards. Right? So anyway. So again, what do you think is worse? I think I think the Mike Z thing was inappropriate, but he's okay. The James Chen thing, James Chen is older than me. I don't know how James Chen can say that he didn't know the N-word was a bad word. Really? I mean, come on, guys, really? But it was okay. I mean, that's fucking weird, dude. That's fucking weird, man. Where are we? Yeah, people doing fucked up things will always be the first people to fake being good people. I've experienced that many times. Yeah, like I said, this whole social justice warrior thing to me is the same as it's kind of like the same as like religious people. People that talk about how religious they are and all this kind of stuff. Man, what's kind of a funny story. My brother was telling me that he had a girlfriend recently, and the girlfriend was the pet of the pastor at the church, which actually sounds kind of hot. Actually, I'm like, damn, goddamn, that's some kinky shit, right? But I mean, I thought that was a pretty funny story. Actually, he was like, yeah, my recent girlfriend was the former pet of the pastor at church, and they used to keep her in a cage. I was like, God damn. I was like, well, fuck, man. Seriously? I was like, well, fuck, dude. I was like, okay. All right. I mean, well, damn. You know what I mean? But okay. Everyone's got their kinks, I guess, right? I mean, fuck me, dude. You gotta do what you gotta do. Bobby Brown, it is your prerogative. My prerogative. Is it? It's my prerogative. Is that the word? Back in the day, did you have friends in the FGC from different countries? I suppose technically, but they live in America at the time, right? Clayton. What is Clayton? I don't know who Clayton is. Can you review the Dr. Squatch fragrances? What is a Dr. Squatch fragrances? I've never heard of that. What's the Dr. Squatch fragrance? I've never heard of that before. So if I follow the social justice warrior logic, I'm mixed French and Algerian. So I should only like French Algerian mixed with other. I'm a racist bigot. Yeah, you might be, right? It's not in the same realm, to be honest. Mike Z just made a really dark joke. So you're saying you think the Mike Z thing is not as bad as the Chris G thing. Okay, so you think the Mike Z thing is not as bad as the Chris G thing. Fair enough. What do you think about the James Chen thing, though? Where does the James Chen saying that he did not know that calling people the N-word was bad just recently? So that's why he was saying it. Where is that on the terms of inappropriate? Sicily, since when? I thought they make just soap. The joke was Shadow the Hedgehog dark, though. To be honest, the Mike Z thing was just making humor when there's nothing racist. Where I don't see where people saw the racism in his thing. Mike Z was worse. So we're getting Mike Z. We're getting some like conflicting reports here. Some people think Mike Z is worse. Some people think Mike Z is not as bad. But what about James Chen? What about the James Chen thing? And the joke itself, man's really joked about George Floyd. That's something else. Apparently, Chris G said that the EG. Apparently, Chris G said the EG said they. Apparently, Chris G said that EG said he was family and they won't kick him. 3 years later, kick him. Looks really suspect. It's super fucked up, his joke a bit. It's not racist, is just joking on the dead people. It's a super. What Chris said was more ignorant than racist. He's old enough to know when you have a voice like that, you will be heard and blown out of proportion. The joke, less so maybe, but it really raised some questions about the guy. The fact that he chose that joke was really concerning. I did think it was strange. It was definitely in fucking poor taste, and he stuttered before he said it. Like he had to think about it, right? Ooh, man, did you hear those cracks? That was a huge back crack, dude. Damn, that was big. James Chen thing is stupid. You can't go now calling people the N-word isn't good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand the James Chen thing. And this is like, I've met James Chen before. Don't have a problem with the dude. I met Mike Z before. Don't have a problem with the dude. But they were both inappropriate to say, and they were done okay. Like I said, I just can't believe that James Chen is older than me. And James Chen said he didn't know when he's been saying the N-word, it was a bad thing and it was a different time. It's like, dude, what do you mean a different time? Dude, you're older than me. How do you not know that it's bad? I mean, that to me implies, and again, I guess I haven't talked to James Chen in a long time. Like, so the last time James Chen talked to me, he was asking me about Marvel combos, which was a while ago, right? And I just think that's kind of plain dumb. That's plain dumb. Now, I will say one thing. Okay, I haven't touched on this. I do think what Chris G said that was fucked up when they were streaming. I didn't watch the whole stream. I just kind of heard a little bit of it. That they said that they don't think you should be held accountable for what you said in the past. I think that's completely fucked up. Now, that is one fucking bitch move for him to say, okay? Again, I agree that this whole thing is completely hypocritical. But to say that I don't think I should be held accountable for something that I said in the past, I don't think that's true at all. That's giving people an out just to be assholes and to say, "Oh, it was the past," right? No, that was a fucking bitch thing to say. But is it hypocritical? It's extremely hypocritical. I will agree with that. It's extremely hypocritical. But to then say I shouldn't be held accountable for what I said in the past, that is fucked up. That's a bitch move. That's not owning what you said. That's being a child, I think, and just thinking you can do whatever you want and not held accountable, right? That's why I always think it's funny when people try to, hey, we found what Clayton said. We found what Clayton said. If I have said it, I will say it, right? If I have said it, I will say it. I have no problem. I will say, I mean, I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say, right? Just make sure you put the full context, because I don't talk out of my ass, right? Put the full context so everyone knows exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. Who do you think is hotter, Ken or Ryu? Oh, geez, I don't know. It's kind of gay, dude. Ryu? I mean, what? Who dares message me? Oh, I'll talk to her later. We can tell her to come on if she wants. Where are we? Time out. I'm sorry. Where am I? What is wrong with this? Man, my fucking live stream is going crazy right now. It's like glitching out or something. Oh, what is wrong with my fucking live stream right now? I might have to open. I hope this doesn't crash if I do this. Please don't crash, motherfucker. Is it working? Okay, my stream was fucking up for me. I don't know if it's fucking up for anyone else, but it fucked up for me. Where are we? Mike Z was worse. Okay, we read that. What Chris said was more ignorant. James Chen saying the N-word was 10 times worse than what Chris. That's what I was saying. The James Chen and then James Chen saying he didn't know it was bad, I think is weird. Mike Z's comment was worse in my opinion, but I don't think it was necessarily racist. I agree that I agree with that. I don't think it was necessarily racist as well, but I think it is potentially worse. Yes. I think it was more of just a bad thing to joke about. One thing you can't say, the one thing, Chen, yeah. It's a fucking racial slur. You can't know, James. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, of course. But Chris G is a complete dick where James Chen looks like an okay dude. How do you feel about Jimmy Kimmel? I don't know. What did Jimmy Kimmel do? How do you recover after a workout? I rest, I guess. Just got here. What did Chris say? The whole thing. What do you want me to go over this whole thing, or did we talk about it? The whole thing was, I guess these evil genius guys made what's up, Dymo? I guess these evil genius guys made Chris G move. They said they would fire Chris G unless he moved to Seattle. And then he moved to Seattle. And then they fired him for what he said a few years ago. And my opinion on this is it's hypocritical. I'm not friends with Chris G. I don't give a fuck. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm only here to comment on the hypocritical nature of the fighting game community, right? So I said, you can be sure these social justice warriors aren't defending me when all this shit happens to me. Okay, that's hypocritical nature. Then Chris G had said that black girls think they're good at games when they are not good at games. And I said, well, most people who say they're good at games are not good at games. Okay, next comment. And then I guess he ended his thing with black girls just want to have sex with him. And so to end my comment on this whole matter, I was like, well, I don't know what's wrong with that. Well, why does it suck that girls want to have sex with you? And everyone knows I like big lips, so I like big black girls, right? Doesn't make me racist. I think anyone that watches my stream knows that I tend to like big lips. You know what I mean? That was my way of lightly ending the conversation. I'm like, damn, they want to have sex with you? Seems pretty cool to me. All right. And that's why I said this is so fake. And then someone actually posted, or multiple people posted, they said that I was very racist for saying that because, first of all, it's not a black girl. It's a black woman. This is me when I read that. It's not a black girl, Clayton. It's a black woman. And I'm like, oh my God, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Are you fucking, is this how strong your agenda is right now, dude? And they're like, and also, you saying you like big lips is just as bad as going to an Asian girl and saying you like their tiny squinty eyes. Has anyone ever fucking heard that in real life? I've never even heard that in real life. That's one of the most fucking retarded things I've ever heard. It's not even remotely the same. And like I said, you sure don't hear these guys complaining about being told they have a BBC, right? No one's complaining about having a BBC. Is that not fetishizing a black man by saying they have a BBC? Like I said, give me part of the BBC. I'll take a couple inches of the BBC. Doesn't matter to me. I don't need a few inches. I'm not greedy. I'll just take a couple inches of BBC. You know what I mean? I respect it. More power to you, dude. I think it's fucking sweet. The dick game is awesome. I respect it, dude. Does that make me racist? That I think black dudes have the BBC? You know what I mean? I think it's cool, right? Just like I tend to like big lips. So I think it's fucking cool, dude. I think it's awesome. Doesn't mean I'm racist. But hey, that's, where am I? Got any links on James Chen saying the N-word? I don't have any links about it, but it was a thing. People were posting about it for a while. And then man, it's probably maybe a couple months ago or something it came out. And he said that he didn't know that saying the N-word was bad. And I was like, oh, man, come on, dude, really? And I was like, really? Really, dude? I think that's just as fucking inappropriate as all of this. I think that's really fucking inappropriate to say that. But, what do I know? Apparently I'm racist because I like big lips. Anyway. I agree the bloke should be held accountable if he said it's... I agree the bloke should be held accountable if he said it, say less than a year or two ago, but not literally everything you've ever said in the past. Even he said it back in 2017. Jimmy did blackface and admitted to saying black joke. Don't know anything about it. If he did, he did. I don't know anything about that, so I guess I can't comment on that one. The problem with the social justice war is that if you are not a racial minority, they don't give a shit for whatever reason. That's what I was saying in my video too. Like, do you know how bad tournaments are going to be getting? It's eventually going to get to the point that you are not allowed to enter a tournament unless you are a mixed race, gender fluid. Wait, let me count these off. I don't know if I have enough fingers. How many fingers do you got, Pikachu? Pikachu has a disability. He's only got 2 fingers. Part of his fingers have fallen off. So please donate to Pikachu's super chat so we can sew these other fingers back on. I'm sorry, Pikachu. He's lost a couple nubs. He's got nubs. He has a disability. Someone can social justice warrior for him, but okay. Pretty soon, we're not going to be able to enter tournaments unless you are a mixed race, gender fluid, transgender, furry, who is taking it up the butt while taking a load in the face while playing on a hitbox and macroing every button to make sure you can do special moves immediately. I don't think you're going to be allowed to enter tournaments pretty soon unless you do that. That's the only way you can prove you are not racist at this point. There's a lot of prerequisites. Again, I was told on Twitter that I apparently am afraid of gay people and transgender when, remember, my middle brother is a gay furry. Actually, I could tell that story. Do you know how my mom found out that my middle brother was gay and a furry? So here's a funny story. So my younger brother was doing an art show, okay? He had like an art gallery show, right? So, and there was this furry guy outside of the show, and he had like a billboard up, and he's like doing his furry mask thing, and he's promoting the art show. And so my mom was talking to my younger brother, like, "Oh, your art show is going good." And then the guy in the furry mask came up, and he took off the mask, and he's like, "Hey, Mom, I'm gay and I'm a furry." And that's how my mom found out that my brother was gay and furry, right? True story, right? But anyway. Besides that, though, like I said, I'm actually friends with one of the most famous transgender people on the internet. But of course, these social justice warriors tried to tell people that I am gay phobic or transphobic or whatever the fuck it's called. It's ridiculous, right? Where are we? Some more for Pikachu. Yeah, 2 nubs. Hey, I'll take it. There you go. You could just you could like don't. There you go. I'll try to fix these little stubs. I appreciate it. We can sew Pikachu, protect his disability. Anyway, where are we? Man, you look buff as fuck in that thumbnail. Should I like show my body? Where do I look at my body right now? Do I look buff? How are the gains looking, guys? No? Do I look buff? There's a little nipple twitch. Make sure you... I'm going to Morse code. Time out. Let me Morse code that I am not afraid of gay people. I am not afraid of gay people. Okay. Whew. That was hard, dude. Donate to the super chat. Where are we? Yeah, so my younger brother is the artist brother, and my middle brother is who's this? Excuse me, sorry. My middle brother is a furry, right? Where am I? We all inclusive except for the white straights and Trump supporters. Well, man, you know what, dude? Let me put it like this. I don't like Trump, but I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do if Biden wins. I mean, what the fuck do you think you guys are gonna do? What the fuck are we gonna do if Biden wins, dude? We're all fucked. He doesn't even know where he is. Where am I? You could apply that antidote to anyone, mate. Even if Kimmel, if you wanted. For all you know, he really may have been into his role of Oprah. I don't know what this joke is, so this joke is lost on me. Like I said, I don't know the joke or the blackface thing you guys are talking about. I didn't see it. You'll have to wear me on what you guys are talking about. I actually don't know what this is about. Dude, you're so buff, you're turning me gay. Don't say that because that sounds racist, apparently, and you'll be canceled, right? He could have just told her at lunch. Okay, yeah, he could have. Oh, man, you know what's funny? I don't want to show it, but so you know when you're on your phone and all that kind of shit, and well, I don't want to show my number, but you know how you're like on WhatsApp and Telegram and all that kind of stuff? So it's funny, like it shows like a picture, right? So I'm like scrolling through my numbers on my phone, and literally like my brother's picture of him is him butt naked with a furry mask on with his dick out. No joke. It's funny because my friends were laughing about it because I was looking at my phone and I'm like, who the fuck is this on my phone? I'm like scrolling through this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, who is this? And I'm like, so-and-so. I'm like, what the fuck? And I got a glimpse and it's just him in a furry mask and he's butt naked holding his dick. And I'm like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. Can't you pick a normal fucking profile picture, dude? And my friend was joking. He's like, was he at least tastefully naked? I don't know, dude. But anyway, where am I? Do you take creatine? No, I don't take creatine, no. I mean, one of my friends is gay. People think I'm homophobic at school. If worse comes to worse, you can come to Canada. Canada's fucked too. Canada. Where am I? The chat started moving. I don't know a lot about American politics, but I saw Joe Biden talk about guns once, and damn, I've rarely seen so much bullshit in the same video. Yeah, the Biden thing, the country, I just feel like is like, man, dude, I think we're screwed either way, right? You know what I mean? I think it's really fucking bad, dude. I think, if you have relatives added, why would you put that kind of PFP? Well, my middle brother that I'm talking about is also, I don't know exactly what he is. I don't know if he's autism or autistic or whatever, but he's kind of like slow. You know what I mean? So that's the whole point of that. He's kind of slow. So he just, what are you going to do, right? Every country is fucked. Just be a based antichrist. Shaking my head. Trudia. I don't eat enough protein. Jimmy acts like a saint and tries to cancel people for the same crime that he has committed in the past. Why do you do those snaps at the beginning of your video? I said this before because I never knew how to snap my fingers because I thought you just did this. And I thought they were snapping with this right here. And I'm like, why can't I snap my fingers? And then someone was like, Clayton, it's this finger. And then I was like, oh, I can do it instantly. So my whole life, I just thought I was retarded. You know what I mean? I just thought I was retarded. I'm like, I just can't. I don't have the dexterity to snap my fingers. And then someone was like, Clayton, it's your middle finger. And I was like, oh shit, that's easy. And so now I'm like making up for lost time. You know what I mean? So that's why I snap my fingers. Where are we? The only thing I know about American politics is that Donald Trump was coked up once and Joe Biden has dementia. If you want to call someone a racist bigot, make sure your slate is clean. The FGC canceling shit is getting way out of hand. I hope they the FGC canceling shit is getting way out of hand. I hope after they cancel all the OG players at one point, they do a NWO in the old WWF Attitude Era. That, not the anarchist. Oh, anarchist, yeah. My English sucks, aka no government. Who is worse, Trump or Biden? I don't want to think about it. RDJ? What does RDG mean? I don't know what RDJ means. RDGJ? I don't know what that means. Don't go around trying to be politically correct 5 days a week. Both are immensely stupid. I feel like the snaps are to brainwash your viewers. I need a gimmick, you know what I mean? NWO for life. Anarchy just seems like the way to go to get everyone in America killed. Clayton, what's the future of the FGC, white knights, beta cucks, lame, and furry community? You know, I think that as it is now, it will not have. I think if the coronavirus was not happening right now and Evo was still happening, like legitimately, you know, I think if Evo was still going to be happening legitimately, I think there probably would have been a bigger blow up. Right? Because you would see these top players can't go to Evo, right? But I'm not sure the lasting effect it's going to have on the fighting game community for this year, because the fighting game community this year is so fucked up anyway, right? With how everything is like canceled and whatnot. So it's not exactly, you know, I'm not sure. I would assume it's going to be getting worse before it gets better, but I don't think there's going to be a huge blow up since there's not like a real Evo about to happen, I guess. Okay, so we can just follow up suit with the social justice warrior moms and just cancel people. I'd much rather see Kimmel fizzle out on his own autism than be canceled by magenta-haired screechers, to be quite honest. Yeah, I don't know anything about this Jimmy Kimmel thing you guys are talking about, so it's still completely lost on me. Did you ever figure out the Ryu Stand Fierce Super thing? Oh, I haven't even tried that again. I haven't tried that one thing again. Oh, Robert Downey Jr. Dan boy, you don't get it. In my humble opinion, at least Trump is a nationalist, so I'd rather have a person that likes our country in office rather than someone who can't remember his country's name. That could be a perspective. Jimmy Kimmel is 100% social justice warrior. Oh, I don't. Oh, I do. Don't you worry, mate. Fuck, I wanted that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 tournament. Furries have Sonic Fox. You can't beat them. Where are we? That's why his canceling. What is a she? Oh, social justice warrior. Chat just joined. Who is canceled? Everyone is canceled. Me included. I said that I like black girls, and that means that I'm racist because I like big lips. Is Evo Online going to be worth watching? I would be curious. How exactly are they even doing Evo Online? Like, I'm not really super aware on how they're doing it. Like, are they going to be letting people from faraway countries verse each other? Like, is there like a lag limit or like a ping limit? Like the ping can only be so high or something? Is that what it is? I don't know. What is exactly the rules they're doing for Evo this year? What's the rules exactly, how they're doing it? Charles, I heard about F-Champ, what happened to Chris G. So at the end, they will ban everybody that isn't a minority. So we normal heterosexual free-speaking people. Like I said, at this point, I feel like unless it might get to the point where you are not safe unless you are a transgender, biracial, non-binary. Did I say gender fluid? Transgender, furry, that is taking a load in the face and a dick up the butt while playing on a hitbox and macroing every button. Like, if you don't do that, you're not safe at this point, it seems like. Because, again, like I said, just earlier, I was apparently, people were trying to say that I was afraid of gay people. I don't like transgender people when I am friends with one of the most famous transgender people on the internet. Okay, like, that doesn't make any sense, but that's how I try to spin it. And then I said I like big lips, so everyone knows that I like black girls. I mean, that's a pretty common thing. People ask me about what kind of girls I like on stream, and I'm always like, dude, I love big lips. It's one of the only things that I actually tend to be biased towards. But I guess that makes me racist, I guess. I wonder how hard the brackets are going to be rigged now that it's online. Yeah, like I said, I really am not aware of how they are going to. I really don't know how they're going to fucking do. I don't know how they're supposed to be doing this Evo thing with it online. I feel like it's going to be a complete clusterfuck, right? Fuck Chris G and his Chipotle. Have you seen Chris G complain about his trip to France to go to Stunfest? No, I don't know what that story is. What is that story? I don't know what that story is. The influence of the mainstream media is WMD to this psych. Pussy, face lips. Lips are my favorite thing on girls, right? Dragon Ball Fighter Z isn't really an Evo Online. It's only an exhibition. Wait, Dragon Ball Fighter Z is not a. Dragon Ball Fighter Z is not at Evo. It's just an exhibition. DJ, seriously, now people dig in for years into the past. I'm done with the society. Big lips, curves, feminine. That's a woman, yeah. All this cancel culture shit is an illusion. It was retarded because he deleted it that same day and apologized to EG, and they said it was all right. But yeah, I mean, my point is, and I said this before, and you can leave in the comments. Do you think what Chris G said there is worse than what Mike Z said? What is more inappropriate, what Chris G said or what Mike Z said? Then tell me what is more inappropriate, what these guys said or what James Chen said. James Chen said he didn't know the N-word was a bad word, and that's why he's been saying the N-word. Like, really? He's older than me. How do you not know that's a bad word? So what's more inappropriate to you? I think they're all inappropriate. But only one person was actually punished, and that's what I was talking about. That's the hypocritical nature of the fighting game community as usual. People don't actually care about anyone, dude. People only care if it's convenient to care. I need to take some medicine. Time out. I'll be back. I gotta take some medicine, guys. Wait a second. Oh, okay. Where are we? What did I miss? Oh, fuck. Phew, fuck. Is that Budokai 3 video? Which one is Budokai 3? If OG Brawley were to come to Earth and he were to fight Perfect Cell during the Cell Saga, how do you think that would go down? I don't know. I never thought about that, I guess. He was complaining about not finding a Chipotle restaurant and that a hair salon was called a barber shop. And he couldn't get his hair cut without an appointment. Huh. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Budokai. Are you sure I talked about Budokai? I never played the Budokai. Is the Budokai the 2D one? I only played the virtual on one. James with the terrible option select. Yeah, like I said, that was terrible, dude. That didn't sound genuine at all. Really stupid stuff, but he wad really stupid stuff. Really stupid stuff. Bit he wad so fucking salty that was hilarious. I mean, that's a fair point. Yeah, Mike Z got us scot-free. Everyone gonna act sensitive and flower, and that's what I don't like about the FGC. Excuse me. Fuck. Excuse me. Meanwhile, F Champ and Chris G bite the dust. I personally prefer BT3 as opposed to Budokai. Excuse me. FG Champ is annoying. It's like you cannot joke around. Ugh, fuck, sorry. It's like you cannot joke around about anything or speak your mind if you're a well-known player or you might be the next thing. Budokai 3 is go to when FG is annoying. And I am a fan of F Champ. Banning was dumb. Infinite World was pretty good. Saying I didn't know it was a bad word is a legit child excuse. If James Chen didn't know it was a bad word, then he would use it more frequently. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, that's a good perspective. I think that's actually, I would say that's a pretty good argument, what you just said right there. I would say that's a pretty plausible. That sounds pretty plausible to me, actually. I would agree with that. I would agree with that as a way that you could look at it. I would say that's a pretty good analogy for that one, actually. Oh man, I need a fucking back cracking. Where are we? I liked F-Champ back in the day because he was a villain. I liked the idea of having villains in the FGC was more of an entertainment value. He said watermelon lives matter. I think Infinite World is better than Budokai 3. Just trying to get a rise out of people. I think that what was said is wrong. However, to ban is extreme. To temporarily suspend may have been more appropriate. It doesn't have the guessy minigame with the clashing and such. Start in the Heights? I feel like I missed something here. Where I am, I definitely missed something here. He said that he said that because he was about to devour. Yeah, I missed some comment somewhere. The FGC is only becoming social just weird to me and Steam friendly. All James said was Watermelon's Lives Matter got banned. Mike Z made joke about George Floyd, nothing. Yeah, that's why I said again, I think what James Chen said and what Mike Z said were inappropriate as well. Nothing happened. Mike Z is protected by Sonic Fox. Yeah, we're in the PG area of the FGC area. People soon will ban anyone who pops off and refuses to shake hands with the opponent. Hey, well, I told the story. Remember when I almost quadruple perfected Ricky at Evo? They were filming me for Evo, and that happened, and he slapped my hand away when I told him sorry. And I remember Evo, they did my interview for it and everything. And then when they put out the Evo DVD, they didn't put the match in. You know what I mean? Because Ricky is obviously way more popular than me, so they didn't want to put that match in. But yeah, I know some people ask if you could find that match anywhere. I don't know. I would assume someone must have some random ass VHS tape match for some bullshit off a camcorder. I'm sure it fucking exists somewhere, but yeah, he was a PG. I downed the ROM. Fuck Mike Z and Sonic. Then the third one, the mainstream room. See, FC's whack. Mike Ross was ahead of the time. Perfect Cell destroys Brawley. But yeah, Clayton, the 4 main games for Evo Online are MK11. Them's Fighting Herds is one of the main games of fucking Evo. Are you serious? Jesus Christ. Them's Fighting Herds is one of the main games of Evo. Pikachu's just going to reflect on life. What the fuck? Them's Fighting Herds is the main game at Evo. Budokai 3 is the rock, paper, scissors game. IW is slightly better because the new characters no longer have to play the mini game. If they land their ultimate, you eat it. Yeah, Tenkai. Yeah, I only played the Tenkaichi games, and I never played the Budokai ones. Luda, sup. All I remember you saying you found out about the grab loops. No, the grab loop was in Tenkaichi. No, the grab loop was in Tenkaichi, and I put out videos for that. I put out the infinites for that. Clayton, when will you make a beautiful caramel colored baby with a black girl? I don't know. I do love. Hey, I guess that makes me racist that I like black girls. People said, what am I supposed to do? I love. Makes me racist, but you know what? I respect the BBC too. I don't think it makes me racist to respect the BBC. Sounds like a legit New Yorker complaint. The only time you set up an appointment at a barbershop in New York is especially the hood where the place is full. The pony fighting game. The netcode is literally at Evo because of netcode. Games with rollback made it into Evo. Clayton, would you ever do your hair video? I just use shampoo and conditioner because, like I said, I lost most of my hair when I got sick. And when I first got sick, it took me 2 years for my hair to grow back. 2 years. So I would actually like to dye my hair, but I'm afraid that my hair wouldn't survive because my hair is so sensitive to being sick. I've showed like the lupus rashes on it and all that kind of stuff. So I don't do anything crazy with my hair. You played Tenkaichi. Yes, I like the Tenkaichi. I have debated about doing combo videos for Tenkaichi because there actually are little gameplay mechanics in that you can do stuff because there's the whole dynamic of there's like 3 levels of a charge. And so when you do combos, you only want to go to level 2 because if you do a level 3 charge for moves, then you can do that just frame teleport out of combos. But if you do a combo always to a level 2 charge and never to a level 3 charge, then a lot of combos are legitimately guaranteed, right? So it's kind of like a weird dynamic in the game. You know what I mean? I guess if anyone has played. So there's like the regular version of a move, there's a slightly charged up version of a move, and then there's a full charged move. But the full charged move, you can actually technically teleport out of. So it's kind of a weird gameplay mechanic, but there's like potential for combo videos for it, and I've showed infinites in the game, but I never made a ton of combo videos for the game. Clayton, Ricky Ortiz slapped her hand away. I'm hating. Well, so I could tell that story again. Do people want me to tell the story of when I like double perfected, almost quadruple perfected at Ricky? I can tell that story again. Let me know in the comments, and I'll tell the story again. It's not super interesting, but I can tell the story again. Let me know in the comments or super chat if you want to hear this story again, or if people have already heard the story and I can tell that what happened at that Evo. Clayton, which fighting game has the best netcode? I don't know. Clayton, cancel culture is dumb and a ton of people can only find cancel culture is dumb. Cancel culture is dumb and a ton of people only care about what is in front of them. The popular opinion becomes the thing people care about. Yeah. The main thing is that we respect each other's opinion, but the timing and everything. The FGC is such a sad state. I'm not the best at video games, but I enjoy them. But do you think some issues could have been avoided if people just focused on enjoying the game? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, well, obviously, right? Tenkaichi 3 is an interesting but pretty broken game. So anyway, I'll tell the story again. So the back part of the story is, God damn it, I left my water in the other room. When I took the medicine, I left my water. Wait a second. Oh, fuck. Anyway, okay, so the story was... No, sorry. Of course, yeah, I'm stalling for the super chat. Anyway, no, I really did get a water. I went and got my water. So the backstory of the story. Speak English, motherfucker. And I got to tell it with Pikachu because Pikachu makes the stories funner. So anyway, we're at a tournament and, you know, people are all playing video games or playing casual for the tournament, right? And Ricky and Flo are there. And, you know, Flo has never liked me, I guess, because I don't know. Me and Flo have never liked each other. I don't actually have a problem with Flo. You know, I guess I've actually beat Flo, I think, every time I've ever versed him in a tournament, right? This isn't me talking shit about Flo. Flo is more famous than me. I know. Okay, I'm not talking shit about the dude, but, you know, whenever we versed in tournaments, I beat him, right? You know, he's more famous than me. He's doing much better than me. Don't get it, like, twisted, okay? But, you know, Flo has never liked me, I guess. And then Ricky and Flo are in the room, and they don't want to play anybody in casual because I guess they're too good to play anybody, right? So I just remember them watching Kenji play people, and I wasn't playing casual anymore at that point either because I just wasn't, right? So I wasn't really playing games besides tournament. Anyway, so the tournament happened, and what happens is Ricky versed Kenji in the tournament, and I was playing another match, so I didn't see it. And so after I got done winning my match, people rushed over to me and they're like, "Oh, Clayton, did you just see what happened with the Kenji and Ricky match?" I'm like, nope, I was playing my match. And they're like, "Oh man, Kenji fucked Ricky, man. He fucked him up." And I was like, well, people kind of joke that they think that I'm gay. So I was like, well, I would fuck Ricky too, right? Because I was making a joke because people joke that I'm gay, right? And I'm like, well, that's fine because I would fuck Ricky too, right? Now, unfortunately, I didn't know that Ricky was right next to me. And so Ricky was right there next to me. And he was like, meh, meh. He gave me a really bad look. And then Serlin was there too. You guys, if you know David Serlin. Serlin was there and he's like looking at us and he's like, "Oh shit," right? He's like looking at this and everyone's looking at me. And I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "Hey, dude, I'm sorry. You know, people think that I'm gay. So they said, fuck you. And I said that I would fuck you because they thought, you know, people joke that I'm gay. It wasn't like that. Right. And he's just like, bleh, bleh, and he's like looking at me all weird. And Serlin is like, "Oh shit." Right. And Ricky just like walks away like that. Right. And Serlin was just like staring at me and I'm like, oh God, that was awkward. Right. Anyway. So what happens is then Evo comes around. And you got to remember, at this point, Evo is coming around. And at this point, Ricky was actually considered pretty good in Guilty Gear, right? There was a short time that Ricky was actually, he had won some California tournaments, so he was considered good at Guilty Gear, right? And of course, at this time, I was still winning all these tournaments myself, right? So somehow, me and Ricky have to verse each other first round of the tournament, which makes no sense because why are two top players versing each other first round of the tournament? I've been winning all my tournaments. He's been winning his tournaments. Why are we versing first round? Suspicious, right? What a coincidence. Well, so at the time, the Shinakuma, which I had found, and I explained how I did this in one of my YouTube videos. The Shinakuma was a little trick you could do in old school Guilty Gear games where you could cancel the recovery of Kai's fireball, right? And this was not a common thing because most people have never even been able to do it consistently besides me, right? So I was like, well, fuck, remember? I mean, and if you look at me from the tournament, you know, it's like after I did radiation, I was fucked up, like, you know. So I'm like, well, Ricky has probably never seen the Shinakuma. I'm going to just do the Shinakuma, right? So no joke, 4 rounds in a row, what I did is the Shinakuma trick versus him. So he was biking and I was Kai. I would purposely shoot a fireball right in his face. And Kai is supposed to fall down and have a ton of recovery. But then I would do the trick that cancels your recovery. And he fell for it 4 straight rounds in a row, almost quadruple perfected. Because he had never seen it before. So I just purposely, like, I scrubbed him out. He had never seen the trick before. I just purposely went right in front of him. I did a move with a ton of recovery. And then right when he would run in to hit me, I jumped to the other side and I comboed him. And the final round even, I perfected him and he got dizzy and I instant killed him, right? He had like, I totally scrubbed him out because he had never seen it. Scott. Okay, there's Scott. Scott knows about the Shinakuma. Scott knows about the Shinakuma. Okay, Scott knows about the Shinakuma. If you guys don't know Scott, wait, is this Scott from who I think it is? Scott, AJ, all you guys. Scott knows about. So anyway, what happened is he had never seen it, right? Okay, so it is Scott. It's a Scott, right? So I'd done the Shinakuma because he had never seen it. So I scrubbed him out. And so then I went to go shake his hand and I'm like, oh shit, dude. You know, it was like a quadruple perfect, dude. They were taping us for Evo. And I went to like shake his hand and I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. And he was like, huh. And he just like walked away and everyone was like, oh shit, blah, 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 blah. Right. Anyway, so then they had an interview with me about the match. It was a guy named Shankar, I think his name was Shankar or some bullshit. Shankar interviewed me about the match and all that kind of stuff, and they recorded it for the Evo DVD, and then the Evo DVD came out, excuse me, and they didn't put it in. I asked him why he didn't put it in, and he's like, oh, I just don't think it makes sense to put in. Which I wonder, could I find that conversation? Could I actually find that conversation? That would be fucking crazy if I could actually find that conversation. Let me see. I'm just going to do a quick search if I can find this conversation. I don't remember it. Oh shit! I hit the wrong thing. Crap. Does anyone know who I'm talking about? The Shankar guy? What is his fucking real name? What is Shankar's real name? Does anyone know who the fuck I'm talking about? What's his fucking real name? What is Shankar's real name? Shankar's, man, dude, I don't. Shankar? Okay, I don't fucking remember his name, but anyway. Yeah, it was old school Guilty Gear. So that's that story. Yeah. Next, you're going to tell me you can unlock Masenko for Teen Gohan. SMH. Shaking my head. I'm back. I left after hearing about Tropical Thunder from the chat earlier. Tropical Thunder? Wait, were we talking about Tropical Thunder in the chat? Oh boy, was that when I went to go take some medicine? I'm lost. Reload was a great game. It was my first net play experience ever back on the OG Xbox. Oh boy. Any other stories you guys want to hear? More game stories where I could tell some more of those silly stories I told recently, I guess. Oh, okay, yeah, no, I didn't see the Tropic Thunder comment then, no. I missed that one. Might have accidentally read over it. Sorry, mate. Accidentally read over that one. Wow, I forgot Clayton Tactics. I forgot the Clayton Tactics. Man, I forgot Clayton Tactics. We used to joke about that, yeah. Those were the days. No more stories. End the stream. Why end the stream? You don't want any more stories? Abby sex scene. What is Abby sex scene? Oh, Last of Us 2 stuff. Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, let me know. I can tell some more stories. I can tell the high school. I don't know. People like that high school story recently. I can tell the Nunchuck story. Nunchuck story. Pool story. What's a fucking story I haven't told in a while? What's a story I haven't told on stream? Oh man, my back needs a cracking. Oh, back needs a cracking. Oh, back needs a crack. Top 3 fragrances outside of the norm. Top 3 fragrances out of the norm. What would you, are we talking about compliment getting fragrances or norm? I don't know if I like any fragrances that are abnormal per se. I don't know if I like any fragrances that are abnormal per se, right? I don't know obscure, like, I mean, maybe some obscure fragrances. I mean, I do like some kind of, I appreciate some kind of novelty fragrances. You know, sometimes there's certain novelty fragrances that I like, I suppose, but I don't know if I like any fragrances that I would consider abnormal. Oh, yeah. Oh, geez. Okay. I mean, I can definitely look outside of popular name brands. Well, yeah, there's tons of stuff for sure. What do I have? Let me just look at my Fragrantica real quick. Excuse me. I mean, you were asking me about Montal though. Is Montal abnormal? Because Montal is like a niche thing. I would say that's not really normal, right? But what do we have? What was kind of slightly abnormal that I have on this list? Yeah, I mean, I guess chocolate greedy. I mean, if you don't consider Montal isn't something that I feel like most people have heard of. Montal like that. Does Killian count as abnormal? I like Killian stuff. Oh, I have Kisses or Kisses Oi Plus. Kind of smells like a fake s'more. Barista's Legendary is a good coffee fragrance. What is this? The Acqua di Parma Blue Mediterraneo Mandaril Delicicia. Daniel Barros's Tabac Cognac and Tonkaccino is Grand Soir. I like Grand Soir. Does that one count? Amorous as well. I love New York for all. I mean, does Bond count as normal? I feel like, you know, House of Sillage #1 is great. Kerosene's Blackmail. Initio Perfume, Side Effect and Rehab, and Absolute Aphrodisiac are pretty good. Daniel Joser's Amber Tobacco. Artisan's Perfumers Tea for Two. You know, I mean, so it depends what exactly counts as whatever, but my native language is I'm just a fucking idiot, that's all. Stories about Street Fighter 2. No, I never played Tomo, but like I said, one of the last tournaments I ever entered was that Evo, and I remember, you know, did you tweet at Chris G? No, I didn't tweet at Chris G. Oh, Scott Shanker Talbada. Okay, wait, let me look at that. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if me and him have ever messed each other on Facebook. Scott is looking out for us. Let me see if we messed each other on Facebook. Oh, hey. I found his name. Did we ever message each other? Ah, fuck, we didn't. We must have messaged each other on like SRK back in the day. Oh, well, good looking out, though. Good looking out, though, Scott. Where am I? Yeah, no, so for Street Fighter 2, I mean, one of the last, well, kind of Street Fighter 2 stories is, you know, that last Evo I went to was, they had that Hyper Alpha tournament, and, you know, that was me and Mike Watson in the finals of that game when someone pulled the fire alarm on us, and that sucked because, well, fuck, I wanted to finish the finals, right? I mean, Scott was there, right? Scott was there. I mean, people try to act like that tournament didn't happen. That Evo, you know, they fucking like pulled the fire alarm, so we couldn't even finish the finals. Fucking that was fucking goddamn retarded. But I guess from a certain perspective, though, it was cool that it was me and Mike Watson in the finals because I remember reading about Mike Watson. You know what I mean? I remember reading about Mike Watson, you know, back as a kid. So it was kind of cool that it was me and him in the finals, but we didn't get to finish it. So, you know. Excuse me, aquamarine. What now? What? Super turbo or hyper fighting? I guess super turbo. I suppose super turbo. Oh well, I do remember you being in the Evo DVD interview, and they made fun. Yes, yes, I remember. I did. Yeah. So there is the one joking interview with me at the Evo DVD, but they took out the part of the DVD where I beat Ricky. Yeah. So they didn't keep the whole interview when I talked about the Ricky thing, which is sad, right? But yeah, there is a part of me in the Evo DVD. Yeah. So, but not the full interview. Yeah. So there's like the jokey part. You can see a clip of me where we're like joking about something, but they didn't keep the full interview, which, you know, sucks, right? But what are you going to do, right? Yeah, so the whole that hyper alpha was complete bullshit. And okay, so the whole thing is, I guess Scott is here. Scott is the one who brought over hyper alpha for me to play originally. You know, Scott is a sneaky motherfucker. Scott had ways of getting games, you know what I mean? Scott did pay for something to get the game, right? And I just remember Scott brought over the game to our friend AJ's. And Scott was like, "Oh, hey, have you seen this Hyper Alpha game?" I'm like, "No." And I think we played, did we play? We might have played Hyper Alpha. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Scott is here to collaborate this story, even though I guess it's online that people think it wasn't real. But so Scott had brought over Hyper Alpha to, you know what I mean? Yeah, okay. So Scott has no shame. He's talking about the HDDD. I think we're supposed to say that you actually bought the game, Scott. Scott bought the game. Don't listen to what Scott is saying. Okay. So anyway, Scott brought over Hyper Alpha, and I'm like, "Oh, you can play all the alpha characters? That's kind of neat." And I'm like, "Huh, okay." So, you know, Scott was, oh, well, excuse me, yeah. So basically, I'm like, "Oh, I guess the game's going to be at Evo. Maybe I'll play it at Evo," right? I wasn't even thinking about it that much, right? So then it was at Evo, and at Evo, you know, people were talking, they liked the game at first because people were like, "Oh, this is so cool. You can play all these characters." And they're like, as long as you don't play championship edition, right? It's okay, right? Because championship edition was obviously broken because they just kill you in a couple hits. But so at Evo, you know what I mean? We're all playing, and I'm fucking demolishing people. And I think like Jerron is like, you know, running the tournament. And I'm like, holy fuck, I'm about to win this. I'm about to win this fucking tournament. Like, let's finish the tournament, dude. And Jerron is like, "Oh, your match isn't yet. Your match isn't yet." And I'm like, "Okay, well, tell me, dude, because I'm fucking winning the tournament. This is ridiculous." You know what? I just randomly played it with Scott when he brought it over once. I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll enter the game." So anyway, I end up going back to Jerron. And I'm like, "When's my next match?" And he's like, "I disqualified you because I thought you didn't want to play anymore." And I'm like, "What do you mean you fucking disqualified me? I'm winning the tournament." And he's like, well, okay, the thing is, we're like way past your match now. So now we're going to have to redo like the last 8 people, like in a round robin or some bullshit like that." And I'm like, "Oh my fucking God. You know I've been winning. You motherfuckers really don't want me to win this fucking tournament, do you?" So anyway, what happened is, then this is what happened. So we're in a hotel room because they have to move the tournament, dude, right? Because, you know, everything's like at the main lobby. You know what I mean? So it is so ghetto. We're trying to finish this tournament now in someone's fucking like hotel room, right? So then it's me and Mike Watson in the finals. And I even remember APOC came up to me, and APOC is like, "Dude, Clayton." And he's like, "Why are you playing on a controller, dude?" He's like, "Don't you play on our arcade stick, right?" And I'm like, "Dude," and I'm like, "Dude, my hands are so fucked up now." You know what I mean? I'm like, "Dude, I just got to play on controller now. I got to play on controller because my hands are too fucked up to be playing on arcade stick now." And I remember that. And so me and Mike Watson start playing in the finals. And then right outside of the hotel room, someone pulled the fire alarm. And so then all the cops came and all this kind of crap, and they made us leave the hotel room. And I'm like, "You got to be fucking kidding me. They will not let me finish this tournament. These motherfuckers." And this isn't anything against Mike Watson, because Mike Watson has always been nice to me, okay? Mike Watson actually messaged me before, And when he saw that I didn't have money for a controller, he offered to buy me a controller, which I didn't take him up for because he doesn't owe me anything, but he did offer that, right? So I remember that, right? Which I wonder if I could find that fucking message. But anyway, so they pull the fire alarm on, and I'm like, oh my God, you guys really don't want me to fucking win this tournament. So then we go back downstairs, and I remember Jerron literally came up to me. He's like, hey, Clayton, oh, we're not going to finish the tournament, so we're just going to say you got second. And I'm like, wow, dude, really? And then I was like, motherfucker, dude. And so I guess they gave me second. And then I remember you can look on the SRK forums, and everyone's like, this game sucks. This game sucked. We hate this game. And I'm like, yeah, you guys liked it quite a bit before I fucking was like beating you guys. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. And I remember because after that, they started saying I was using all these bugs and glitches to beat them. And that's why if you look on my YouTube, I literally made a video on my YouTube showing all these glitch combos that they said I was doing to beat them don't even exist in the game. It's on my YouTube. You can go check. And I'm like, damn, so much for all these glitch combos that I was supposedly using to beat them. It's not even in the game. So don't get me wrong, though. The game is kind of a clusterfuck. The game is kind of a clusterfuck. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it isn't, but, you know. Yeah, so that's a story. Stupid. Back when the FGC wasn't esports then, and people just watched out for their friends, yeah. Artemino Hernandez. Hey, Clayton, what's up? I am sure you didn't want to play even though you were winning that. Yeah, that was fucking stupid, dude. It was completely fucking stupid. That was fucking retarded. I like that Pikachu role-play in any situation. Yeah. I understand that Dragon Ball FighterZ is fundamentally stupid, but I love Beerus. I love Beerus so much, and Frieza is so cool and fun that I keep playing. You know what? Actually, Scott is here. Scott can actually probably collaborate some of the fucked up stories that I told. Okay, we can probably say his name. His name starts with an M. Okay, Scott, do you know the person I'm talking about that has a, do you know the person I'm talking about that has a name with M? You know, I could tell some of those funny, like, whatever stories, right? But anyway, you know, so. Yeah, the FGC is completely fucked up for doing that. You know, and trying to say I was using these bugs to beat them and combos that didn't even exist. And I literally made a video showing, because then Scott gave me the game. Or no, Scott didn't give me the game. I paid for the game. Let's say that. I paid for the game. No, Scott, you did not give me the game. Stop lying, Scott. So then anyway, after Evo, because I saw all these dudes trying to say that I was doing stuff to them that didn't even exist in the game, and I literally had just played it before Evo, and I was like, oh shit, I guess I'll enter. You know what I mean? I got it, and you can look on my YouTube. And I'm like, man, all this stuff does not exist in the game. It's insane. And they're like, yeah, Clayton was doing all this stuff. I'm like, man, I'm playing right now. That stuff doesn't even exist. And it was funny because a few years later, then it was on a stream I was watching. And some guys were talking about Hyper Alpha 2. I don't remember who the fuck it was. And they were like, yeah, we really wanted to like Hyper Alpha, but we had it at one Evo. And there was this one blonde hair surfer boy who came in and used all these glitches to beat us, and he got 4th place. And I was like, wow. I was like, you guys are so insecure. You guys are on a fucking stream years later trying to say that a blonde hair surfer boy got 4th place when you guys fucking pulled the fire alarm on me during the finals. You like, what is wrong with you guys, dude? Anyway, Scott was there, so fucking ridiculous, man. But you know what I mean? I was like, I couldn't believe you guys, the blonde hair surfer boy. You know what? Twitch saves a lot of stuff in chats. So I bet you could find that tournament on Twitch. It's probably up on someone's stream where the announcers were saying like, yeah, we wanted to like Hyper Alpha, but this blonde hair surfer boy came and he got 4th place on us by doing all these glitch combos. And I'm like, what is the point of lying about this? You know, that just goes to show me that you guys actually kind of like the game. You guys actually kind of like the game that you guys are making this up all these years later, dude. You can't even say what really happened. You can't mention me by name, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, come on, dude. Why are you guys so fucking secure? No, not I'm talking about Matt, not Marn. Although I guess you could tell stories about Marn, right? But I was talking about Matt. I was going to tell all the stories of Matt being fucked up and a complete fuck up, right? But I got some jank in Visism. Is Visism the one where you could Visism is that one of the alpha combo isms, right? You know what I mean? Yeah, hyper alpha is pretty weird. I've talked about this with friends. I think what actually happened with hyper alpha is they literally were making a brand new game. Because if you look at my video, there actually are random tone ups and tone downs for some of the characters. You know what I mean? It's pretty strange, right? It's pretty strange. So it's like they actually were legitimately trying to find stuff in the game, or they were trying to fine tune the game. But then it's like halfway through, they must have like lost their budget, and that's why the game is like a clusterfuck. Because you can actually see some characters do have different balance changes. Yeah, no, I mean, no. So hyper alpha has, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, and then there's also championship mode was banned in it, but there's also like a ghetto bossism mode, and there's like an alpha counterism mode, and there's a Street Fighter 3 mode, right? And there's a Street Fighter 3 mode as well. And some of them have some kind of like different properties of it. It's a pretty ghetto game. I'm not saying it's not a ghetto game, but it actually does have some kind of like strange stuff to it, like that they added to it and took away. Like an example would be in Alpha 1 originally, Guy had a lot of roundhouse cross-ups, and they took out Guy's roundhouse cross-ups, but they gave him a cross-up from his overhead. And they also added some strange stuff where what am I thinking? What did they added some fucking weird shit. Oh, so say in Alpha 1, the original Alpha 1. In the original Alpha 1, if you do a roll trap with Ken versus Guy, Ken's duck fierce punch beats Guy's hurricane kick in every move he can do. So you basically have to super or alpha counter out of Ken's roll trap if you do it properly. But in hyper alpha, they actually changed Guy's hurricane kick to specifically be able to get out of that roll trap because he couldn't get out of it. So it's weird. So it's like, wow. They must have they did do some kind of fiddling with this game. You know what I mean? Yes, and they added like Ken. They gave Ken a new hurricane kick. It had a backwards hitbox on it and everything. Yeah, so they added some weird shit to it. So that's why I said the game, I think they were trying to make a new game, and then they lost their budget or some bullshit, and it was like it got canceled, right? Something like that because yeah, so now I was talking about Matt. So I was just gonna tell, people like yeah, hyper alpha is a thing, and it's funny. This is crazy, dude. Do you realize that Tekken vs. Street Fighter never had a singles tournament at Evo, but hyper alpha did have a singles tournament at Evo? Isn't that kind of weird? There's a little weird video game history for you. When Tekken vs. Street Fighter came out, it only had a tag team tournament. Isn't that crazy? That's how bad Tekken vs. Street Fighter did. When Tekken vs. Street Fighter came out at Evo, they only had a tag team tournament at it. But Hyper Alpha actually had a singles tournament, right? But it's pretty fucking weird, right? It's pretty fucking weird. But anyway. Yeah. Oh, but no, the Matt stories. Man, I don't know if Scott, I'm sure Scott has seen Matt fucked up a lot, but I'm sure a lot of stories I've told Scott and AJ and all these kind of stories. But, me and Matt were closer firsthand to see all the stuff about, Matt. But I know some people like that one story. So, okay, so Scott was around this time. Okay, so Scott remembers Soul Calibur 2. Scott played, who did you play? Young Sung? Not Young Sung. Who did you play in Soul Calibur 2, Scott? It was the dude with the cool throw. He had a cool throw. Young Sung. Yes, I am. Yeah, Young Sung, right. So anyway, a funny story about Matt during this time is, so Matt, Matt's a fuck up, right? He was getting drunk and he was getting fucked up all the time. And so Matt was drunk and fucked up one time, and he's like walking down the street, like boop, 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 boop. And a homeless guy asked him for some cigarettes, right? And so he pulled out his cigarettes and was going to give the homeless guy a cigarette. And the homeless guy, boom, he beat him up. He beat him up. And he took all his cigarettes. And so then Matt came home and he was talking to his dad. And the dad was like, "What happened to you, motherfucker?" Because I don't know if Scott ever met Matt's dad, but Matt's dad is a fucking stoner kind of dude. Matt's dad is a dude as himself, right? So Matt's dad was like, "Yo, dude, what the fuck happened to you, motherfucker? Why are you all bloody and beat up?" And he's like, "A homeless guy beat me up, Dad." And he's like, "What do you mean a homeless guy beat you up?" "I was just giving him some cigarettes, Dad, and the homeless guy beat me up." And he's like, "God damn motherfucker, goddamn fucking Christ shit." And he's like, "Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think he ever met his dad." And he's like, "Well, you like that Soul Calibur 2 game, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm gonna buy you some nunchucks." And so Matt's dad bought Matt some nunchucks, right? To protect himself from homeless people. Of course, he didn't need it for homeless people, because then the next day that Matt went out or whatever, and he went to go buy drugs, right? So he went to go buy some drugs, and then the people he's buying drugs from tried to steal his money. And so he like pulled out his nunchucks. He's like, and he tried to like beat up the drug dealers with his nunchucks, and then the drug dealers ran away. And that's the only story about the nunchucks, but that's all you need, because that story is pretty funny. So the tasing story. So the tasing story was, man, I don't remember exactly why Matt was super drunk and fucked up that time. It might have been he thought I was having sex with his girlfriends or his sisters again, because he used to get really insecure around me. He used to think that I was having sex with all his girlfriends and his sisters behind his back. And while you partied, I studied the nunchucks, right? And so basically, Matt got mad that I had talked to his girlfriend or something before, so he thought he must have fucked her, right? So Matt, he's like, and this is pretty funny. He was pretty clever for being drunk. He's like, "Damn, Clayton, you're just a fucking Pokemon master. Another girl likes you, motherfucker. Another girl fucking likes you." And he took 2 beer bottles and he broke them. And he came after me with beer bottles. And yes, he did actually have a taser. That's true. And I had to lock myself in a room because he was trying to tase the door, and he had like 2 beer bottles in his hand. No, I didn't have sex. His sisters didn't even live where we live. His sisters lived like in another state. He was always high and fucked up on drugs. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's kind of, I just remember that because I was like, wow, that was clever. I couldn't believe he thought that up when he was drunk. That Pokemon. He's like, "Gotta catch them all, Clayton. Gotta catch them all, motherfucker. Another Pokemon for your collection. You fucked another one of my sisters," or some bullshit like. Anyway, so what's another funny story about him? Where's dad? No, I didn't have sex with his sister. No, I didn't do anything like that. But another funny story is we were skipping school one day, like I said, and another funny story, we were skipping school one day. And what do you do when you're a kid, right? Like when you're a kid, we were just like watching porno, like, "Hey, I guess we're skipping school. Let's just watch some porno, I guess," right? So me and him are watching porno while we're like skipping school, or we kicked out, whatever the story was. And we're like, "Damn, sex is pretty cool. Yeah, sex is pretty cool, man. Damn. I can't wait till I have sex. Yeah, sex is sweet, dude. Yeah, sex is sweet." So we're just watching porno. And then his dad comes in, and his dad's like, "Damn, suck my purple mushroom tip, bitch." And we both looked at his dad, and he just like walked away. And that was the first time I've ever heard purple mushroom tip. I've never heard a penis called a purple mushroom tip before then, but that was pretty funny, right? That's how I learned mushroom tip, because he said that. And I was just like, damn. And then we just went back to watching porno. We're like, damn, never heard purple mushroom tip, huh? Okay. The dad just like walked away. "Suck my purple mushroom tip." He just like walked away. Anyway, I wasn't here for this story. Another funny story is, I guess they're all getting stoned, and they're all in the basement getting stoned and getting fucked up. And then the dad didn't know they were there, and the dad walked out on everybody naked while he was fucked up, and everyone just saw the dad naked, like butt naked. And he was like, "Oh shit. Oh shit." And he just like walked away, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, I saw your dad naked. What the fuck?" But that was Wasn't porn for us, was ISIS beheadings. Wait, what? I don't know. I hope that's not true. That sounds scary. That one sounds scary. I hope that's not true. Anyway, what's another story? Scott, are you still here? What would be like a funny Scott, do you know any funny Matt stories that I should tell? Should I tell a dick up the butt is a dick up the butt? Do you remember that story? Do you remember a dick up the butt is a dick up the butt? I could tell that story. So basically, there was a guy, I guess I'm not going to say who he is. Maybe, I don't know. There's a guy who messaged me once, right? And he was like, hey, Clayton. He's like, hey, Clayton, do you ever think about being gay? And he like called me on the phone. I'm like, no. What do you mean think about being gay? He's like, yeah, you're not really gay. You're just being gay for the attention. Because, girls like gay guys. I'm like, I don't know about that. What are you talking about, dude? And he's like, well, I was just kind of thinking about being gay for the attention. I'm like, I don't know. That sounds pretty gay to me. What are you talking about? He's like, no. I'm not really gay. I'm just, doing it for the attention. And I'm like, dude, I don't know, dude. A dick up the butt is a dick up the butt. But, do what you do you. If you want to do it, right? And he's like, okay. And anyway, so I remember this conversation, right? So then that summer, a pretty famous, pretty well-known Soul Calibur player, Tekken dude, if you remember, Scott, he had very long hair. His name started with a D. He's done very well for himself in tournaments. Anyway, I don't remember Matt's story were funny rather than facepalming stupid. So anyway, a famous kind of Soul Calibur Tekken dude lived with me for a while, right? And months later, he moved out. And while he was living with me, I kept getting this weird kind of like transgender porn on my computer. And I'm wondering, because, I guess they're just sharing my computer, right? I'm like, what the fuck? And I just thought maybe my brother had downloaded some kind of porn. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, damn, maybe my brother just downloaded some porn and he didn't watch it. But this girl has a dick. And I would just like delete it, right? Anyway, so what happened was after this guy leaves, I found out that he was gay. And he wanted my friend to be gay. And then my brain did a thinking. I was like, oh shit. He lived with me because he wanted my friend to be gay. And that's why my friend was messaging me thinking if it's okay to be gay if you're not really gay. So my one friend was going to be having sex with this dude. Right? And I'm like, oh shit. And so the one dude, I guess he kind of held it against me for a while. Because he thought that I like talked him out of it, right? Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, I was like, dude, I don't care if you guys are gay, but I just told him a dick up the butt is a dick up the butt. And he's like, and eventually he was like, yeah, I realize that now, right? And he's like, I realize you didn't. I mean, so me and him have like, we are okay now. But there was a time that he thought that I talked him out of being gay, and he was like not very happy about it. But the whole idea is we have this idea that this guy actually is gay on the down low because he's a fuck up basically. I've had a lot of fun times with him, but he is a fuck up. He's a fuck up, and he's been to jail multiple times. He ran into someone while he was driving, and he's always getting out of jail because the thought is that he is the sugar baby of a rich guy. Because we're like, why is this rich guy continuing to pay for this guy to like get him out of jail every time he goes to jail? And we're like, oh, he must be like sucking him off on the download. There must be some kind of like gay download thing. Because when this guy would get fucked up, sometimes this guy's been fucked up around me, and he will start getting naked and he'll start being pretty gay around me. He's like, hey, Clayton, you sexy motherfucker. And he'll start taking off his clothes, and he's tried to sit on my lap before. And I'm just like, dude, that's gay, dude. What are you doing? And he's like taking off his clothes, and he's like, you sexy motherfucker. fuck you. Fuck you. And he's like, fuck you, motherfucker. And he's like getting naked in front of me, like, damn, dude, that's gay as hell. What are you doing? Anyway, so we've always had this kind of thought that maybe he is actually kind of like gay on the down low. Because something is actually going on, right? There's something going on here. No, mate. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, pretty weird story, huh? Anyway, before I go, I can tell, do you guys want to hear the high school story, the high school reunion story, or the pool story? What story would you guys want to hear? The pool story or the high school reunion story before I go again, I guess? Because I guess some people like these stories, right? What would thou likest to hearest? What would thou likest to hearest? The pool story again? Reunion? Maybe I'll have to tell both of them. Dan Boy, why do you keep saying end the stream? Dan Boy, why are you watching the stream if you don't want to watch it? Dan Boy, if you don't want to watch the story, hey Scott, I appreciate you coming in. Thanks, dude. Thanks again for your donation as well recently. I appreciate it, bro. Like I said, I actually feel bad that you did that, but I will take it. I will take advantage of you, Mr. Scott. Thank you. Yeah, Dan wants to cancel. Betty buys. Well, I can always tell the story again. We met at ASIN. We met at ASIN when you were with Heather, who hates me now, I guess. Heather hates me because I called Jason out on for bullshitting. I called Jason out for bullshitting, and then Heather unfriended me from Facebook. She was mad that I did that. But I met you when you were with Heather and Samantha. Is that correct? Samantha, right? Samantha's her name, right? So I met you at ASIN when that happened. Samwise Schweizer, what's her name? Yeah, so I think that's how I met you guys. That's how I think, right? It was at ASIN, right? No, not Jason Wong. No. Heather. Oh, what the fuck? Jin. She goes out with not Jason Wong. She goes out with Jin. You know, Heather. What the fuck is her what the fuck is her cosplay name? I don't know her fucking cosplay name. What is Heather's name? She's married to Jason Jin. You know? Kim? Is her name like Heather Kim? Yeah. Okay, that's the name. Yeah. So Heather hates me now because I called Jason out for bullshitting and she like unfriended me, which I thought was kind of funny. Yeah. Heather-chan. Yeah. So that's why I met you guys with. It was at ASIN. Yeah. That was ridiculous, but you know, that just goes to show. And then Jason posted on my wall and she was just like, she's like, why would you say that about my husband? You know, my husband likes you. And I'm like, well, why is he just going to stand there while dudes were talking shit about me? Don't you think he should have said something? You know what I mean? But anyway, so she got mad. But yeah, she deleted her comment and then she unfriended me. So I posted that thing that, you know, Jason was talking about. You know, Jason was there while they were joking about those dudes. I showed it. I'm like, dude, this is 10 years after this happened. You guys know I was sick and I fucking collapsed in front of you and you guys left me there and you stole my stuff. And it wasn't until someone took me to the ER, you know, that someone like saved me, right? And then I saw that Jason was commenting on that. And I'm like, dude, Jason, how the fuck are you going to comment on that 10 years later and like not say anything, right? And I was like, dude, why the fuck would you say that? And he's like, oh, well, I mean, I wasn't there. I don't remember. I just heard it from them now. And I'm like, dude, Jason, you know that happened and they fucking stole my stuff. And then Jason was like, well, I mean, if they really stole your stuff, maybe you should have called the police. And I'm like, dude, really? And I'm like, dude, Jason, you're fucking supposed to be my friend, dude. Like, what the fuck, dude? And so, yeah, I called him out on that bullshit. And then, and she messaged, she wrote a thing on my thing. She's like, how could you say that to my husband? You know, he likes you. And it's just like, well, if he's my friend, why the fuck is he just going to stand there and not say anything, right? And I'm like, dude, you're just going to stand there 10 years later talking about it? You know what I mean? And I'm like, why the fuck are you just going to talk about that 10 years later? Like, can't you admit what you did? And I'm like, so I'm calling like, dude, how the fuck are you guys going to lie about this 10 years later? You know? But hey, and so I called him out 10 years later. And I mean, I could show you the Twitter post. I'm sure. What was it? What is it? It was 10 years later. They were still joking about it. I'm like, how the fuck are you going to joke 10 years later when you guys like left me for dead? And then you stole my stuff. And then the funny thing is they're like, hey, man, it's been 10 years. Why don't you let it go? And I'm like, dude, you're here 10 years later joking about it. Who is the one that can't let it go? You can't even admit what you did. Like, that is so crazy, dude. No, this was back in the tournament days. And I'm like, dude, how the fuck are you guys going to joke about that 10 years later when I was just like there and you like left me for dead? But no, this was an Ace. This is a tournament that I was really sick at, and they knew I was sick, and they kept delaying the tournament, you know, because, you know, they didn't, you know what? And the thing is, the fact that they still joke about this 10 years later makes me even believe more that it was done maliciously. You know, even that kind of stuff makes me believe more that it was done maliciously, because they knew that I was sick. And every time I was supposed to play, they kept delaying it, like, oh, Clayton, we can't play yet, right? And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And they kept, boom, delaying it. I had to keep taking more and more medicine to get me throughout the day. And eventually I fucking collapsed. And they fucking left me there. And a friend found me and he took me to the ER. And when I got out, they had stolen my stuff. Fucked up. 10 years later to be joking about that. And I'm like, damn, you guys, how the fuck are you just going to sit there and not say anything? But anyway, where are we? Did they literally plan this? I don't know if they planned it, but of course they knew I was sick. Of course. People knew I was sick. They were just trying to act like I was lying about it. But the fact that they're still joking about it 10 years later makes me think that, yeah, wow, it was really done maliciously, right? But anyway, okay, funny stories before I go. So the high school reunion story. So I got kicked out of high school really early, right? And I got kicked out of high school right before or right as I was getting quotation marks cool, right? Right as I was getting quotation marks cool. So, you know, not everyone remembered what I looked like, right? And so I get to the high school reunion, or, you know, I got a message that I could still come to the high school reunion, even though I got kicked out of school and I didn't finish. But I was like, oh, okay, I'll come to the high school reunion, right? So I get to the high school reunion later, or a little later, Artemio Hernandez, right? So I get to the high school reunion and I'm looking, right? And of course, like anyone, I'm trying to see, is there anybody hot? Is there any like ugly ducklings? You know what I mean? Like, is there any girl that's like super hot now? What do the old hot girls look like? You know, whatever. The normal kind of shit, right? And I'm like, no, not really any ugly ducklings. And I'm like, most old hot girls, you know, kind of just look like Doritos. They kind of just tanned way too much. I'm like, that kind of sucks, but whatever. You know, I'm doing my own thing. And so this girl pops up to me, right? And she comes up to me. She's like, oh my God, what? And she started between. She's like, you went to our high school? And I'd be like, yeah, what's up? And she's like, oh, I just feel like my entire high school is ruined that I don't remember you. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, I got kicked out really early, so it's normal. She's like, no, really. I feel like my entire high school life was ruined that I don't remember you. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, but it's okay. Don't worry. Anyway, so I go to do my own thing, right? This girl's getting fucking wasted, right? So I go down and I sit down at the table. And, you know, I don't drink because of health reasons, but everyone else is drinking. So there's like champagne, wine, whatever the fuck it is, dude, right? And the girl sits next to me, right? And she's hardcore flirting with me, dude. She really wants it, dude, right? Anyway, so she starts like literally like kissing me, and she's like, and I'm like, oh shit, Jesus Christ. And I like push her away, and I'm like trying to let her down easy. So I'm like, you're drunk, and I don't want to take advantage of you. And she's like, no, please take advantage of me, which is actually pretty fucking hot, right? That's actually a pretty good line, right? But so she's like, no, please take advantage of me. And she pushes me against the table, right? And so then the table falls over, and, you know, the drinks spill, and she's on top of me and all this kind of stuff. And I'm trying to push her off of me. And while this is happening, a dude is watching. And the dude looks at me, right? And the dude is looking up at me, dude, right? And the dude looks at me and he gives me a like, hey, and he gives me that. And he like whispers under his breath. And I'm like, did this dude just like, hey, and he whispers under the breath, like, call me. And I'm like, wait a second. Does this dude think that I'm turning her down because I'm gay? And I'm like, oh shit, Jesus Christ. This is a clusterfuck. This is a clusterfuck. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. This is getting dangerous, right? So I got gay dude who thinks I'm gay. That's why I'm turning down girls. And I got girl who's all over top of me, right? So I like push her off of me, and I kind of like, there, calm down, be civil. And, you know, the only other story from that before we move on is I remember at one point, like one girl walked up to me. And, you know, she had big lips. And of course, as I said, I don't think it makes me racist, like Twitter is saying. Apparently, I'm racist because because I like big lips. And she had big lips. And she's like, oh, Clayton, you know, my mom saw you. And she's like, who's that blonde hair guy? And I'm like, oh, that's Clayton. But I can never get with him because we work together. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, oh, I could never do anything with you. I'm like, well, I don't know. Why not? Anyway, so she kept saying that. And I'm like, okay, this is stupid. So I just start to like walk away, right? I'm like, I'm going to leave because people are going to the bar, doing whatever, right? And drunk girl starts to follow me. I'm like, dude, you're drunk. Stay here. Stay there, right? So I leave and I drive to the bar because people are going to the bar, right? You're going to drink afterwards. So I go to the bar. This is how I drive. Park my car, right? So I get out of the bar. I get out of my car, and then all of a sudden I see fucking drunk girls driven to see me, and she's like, "Hey, daddy," and I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?" And I'm like, "Aren't you drunk?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't think you should be fucking driving." She's like, "Sorry, daddy. Sorry, daddy." And I'm like, "Dude, you were way too drunk." I was like, I don't think you should be driving anymore." And she's like, "Sorry, daddy." And you know, I'm kind of into the daddy thing, but you know, anyway. So I'm like, okay, you need to calm down. No more driving, dude. So I mosey on over to the bar. I walk to the bar. Anyway, so I'm talking to some other dudes. You know what I mean? Let me get a drink of water here. Time out. Wait a second. So, you know, I'm at the bar talking to some dudes, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And some of these girls then start like literally trying to like dead weight me and all this kind of stuff. They start running into me and bumping into me and grabbing me and all this kind of shit. Because like, oh, Clayton, you got so many muscles. Let's see your muscles. And they start trying to like jump on me, trying to see how much muscles I have, right? And at some point, drunk girl is like this. She goes from like the back of the bar and she's like, boom, boom. And she like jumps on me and she literally fucking tackles me, dude, and knocks me over. And so there's these other drunk dudes there, and they're like, and they're like, Clayton, I thought you got muscles. You can't pick up a girl. And they're like laughing at me. And I'm like, motherfucker, this girl just fucking ran right across the fucking road to fucking, you know, grab me and knock me down. Anyway. So then the bouncer comes up to me and he's like, you're way too drunk to be here. You need to leave. And I'm like, dude, did you not just see this girl fucking run and tackle me from across the bar? He's like, nope, didn't see it. You got to leave. And I'm like, I'm looking at this girl. I'm like, oh my fucking God, dude, you just got me kicked out of the bar. So then I got to leave the bar because they think I'm the one that's drunk. So I leave the bar and the girl's following me. She's like, sorry, Danny. Sorry, Danny. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, listen. And I pull up my phone and I'm like, oh, beep, 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 beep. And I give her my phone. And I'm like, hey, here's my number. Call me another day. You are completely fucked up. And I'm like, you need to get someone to drive you home because you're fucked up. Just call me another day. So I leave, I give her my phone number, blah, 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 blah. And the night ends basically, I think we went to like a hotel. And, some dudes like that were like, you're like, hey, Clayton, you could have fucked all those girls, right? I'm like, yeah, I guess, right? I'm like, yeah, no, really, you could have fucked her. You gotta get on that, dude. You gotta fuck them girls, right? And I'm like, shit. I'm like, yeah, I guess, right? Anyway. So anyway, the next day then, drunk girl calls me, right? Excuse me. And so drunk girl's like, do you want to hang out? And I'm like, and I'm like, do I want to hang out? And I'm like, I guess, right? And so this is, maybe this is my own problem. I'm a grown man. I should not be hanging out with a girl alone, not knowing what's going to happen, right? So anyway, I get to her place, right? She is completely fucked up, dude. She's drinking all over the place. She's smoking all over the place. She's going crazy. And I'm like, God damn. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, and she's going ham on these fucking beer bottles. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what have I got myself into? And she's like, Clayton, I think we need more beer. And I'm like, are you fucking sure? Are you sure? Because I think you've had a lot. She's like, no, we need more beer. And I'm like, well, I guess. And so we go over, we go and buy her more beer, more cigarettes, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Right? So anyway, we get back to the place and she's going more crazy. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, how the fuck do I get out of this? And eventually she's like, Clayton, aren't you going to do anything? And I'm like, I guess I will smoke a joint with you, right? So we smoke a joint, right? And anyway, she's like, Clayton, I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, right? So she goes to the bathroom and I like walk over and I look over the city. I like go over to the window and I'm just looking there, right? I'm like, oh man. And I'm like, how do I get out of this, right? I'm having like an existential crisis. I'm like, how do I get out of this, dude? This is completely fucked up. And I'm like, what do I tell her to get out of this when she gets out of the bathroom, right? So anyway, eventually the bathroom door opens, right? And she comes out. She's completely butt naked. And I'm like, oh, shit. And she's like, Clayton, will you just look at them? And I'm like, And she's like, just touch them. Please, just touch them. And she did have some big titties. Let me just say, she did have some big titties. And so anyway, I'm like, I guess, I'm here. I guess I'll grab me a titty. And so I went, boom, and I grabbed me some titties. And I grabbed me some titties, right? Anyway, so I grabbed me some titties, and then she like led me over to the bed, and then she's like, she just like passed out. And I'm like, dude, and I just like, I kind of like did a little check to make sure she's actually passed out. So it's like, boop, 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 boop. I kind of like gave her a tap on the back. I'm like, is she asleep? Boop, boop, boop. And she like totally passed out. And I'm like, thank God. And like, just got out of there as quick as possible. And so that's basically the end of the story. I only had like one other time basically hanging out with this girl. We were hanging out with me and a bunch of other girlfriends. So it was like a group, right? And we were there. And at one point, they excused themselves to the bathroom, right? And then the other girlfriend came out. She didn't come out. And she came out and she's like, yeah, Clayton, there's a problem. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean there's a problem? And she's like, so-and-so can't come out. And I'm like, what do you mean she can't come out? And she's like, well, whenever we say your name, she throws up. And I'm like, what do you mean she throws up? She's like, yeah, she's just really nervous now whenever she thinks about you. And whenever we say your name, she throws up. And I'm like, anyway, so I guess, you know what, though? That's not completely abnormal because I have talked to a dude before, and a dude told me that when he had his first girlfriend, that when he first started going out with his girlfriend, he had to go excuse himself a few times as well, and he threw up. So I guess it happens to dudes too. You know, like, I mean, I've had times when I'm hanging out with girls and like my heart beats really fast, but I've never like thrown up before. But I guess, you know, a dude was telling me that his first girlfriend, when they were hanging out, he had to go to the bathroom multiple times to throw up when they first met because he was just so fucking nervous, I guess. But what do you think about Negative Edge? I bought Fighter's History on the Switch since it was on sale for $2, and the game has Negative Edge. I haven't played many games with fighters. I don't think Negative Edge is bad. I think Negative Edge is fine. You know, I don't think it hurts games. I don't think Negative Edge is bad for games. You know, but oh fuck, man. A lot of stories. I was supposed to do that. I was supposed to do the fucking what's it called, dude? I wanted to do that other Street Fighter video, but I'm gonna be running out of my voice now. Do you think you would ever cosplay? Well, I'm not as good as a cosplayer as you. If you guys don't know Celeste Orchid, she does a lot of cosplay stuff. Give her a follow. You can look at it. She does some cosplay stuff. But no, I don't do any. I've thought of doing some cosplay stuff, but I feel like to do it, I should like do it properly. And I'm not like artsy enough to like make a cool costume. So I feel like it's just kind of like fake. You know what I mean? Guess if I had a lot of money to do it properly, I would. But, you know. As Vega, I feel like Vega's more pretty boy though. I feel like I don't feel like I don't look pretty boy enough. I consider Negative Edge mandatory for any Capcom to be taken seriously. One of the reasons I hate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is it doesn't have it in. You know what I mean? So I'm fine with Negative Edge. I don't know why games don't have it or why it's specifically taken out. I mean, maybe there's some kind of fucking, I don't know, maybe there's like an official statement why they don't like it. I'm not aware of it. You know, if there's an official reason why it's randomly taken out of games, you can let me know. But I'm not aware on a official reason why Negative Edge isn't in certain games. I'm not aware why it wouldn't be, but you know. Oh well, so pool story before I go, and then I will bust out of here, guys. We've been streaming a long time. Remember, there's a super chat, the Patreon. You know, whatever, dudes. But yeah, the Dante stuff. I feel like the Dante stuff I would have to I would have to do like a better costume, I feel like, yeah. Yeah, I've heard the Dante thing. Like I said, 4chan actually used to have 4chan, I can find it. 4chan, when 4chan used to be stealing my pictures, well, maybe they still do. I don't know if they still do. I haven't seen it in a while, but I know people on 4chan used to pretend to be me. You know, let me see if I can find this picture. 4chan used to put this picture of me and used to like catfish with me and said that I was like Dante. Let me see if I can find a picture of this. Where's this bullshit? Where's this bullshit? Where's this shit? Oh yeah, right here. So 4chan used to take that picture of me. Oh, it's too big? Well, never mind. The link is too big to fucking see it, I guess. I guess you won't see it because the link is too big to see. I guess it's my face. Okay, I guess this is public. I guess you could see this. Maybe, as long as it's not too many lines. Can you see? There you go. 4chan used to take that picture of me and they used to post that and said that I was like Dante in it. But anyway. If I suddenly stopped having all the medical issues, what would I do? Oh boy, man, I don't even know. I've been sick. I've been sick for so long. I don't even fucking know. I keep telling, you know, like I said, if you could guarantee that I wasn't going to lose my hair, I would definitely do the TRT. But I feel like I am so sensitive to all these autoimmune diseases and everything, and that lupus, you know, all this fucking bullshit. I'm so afraid because I have low testosterone, right? Is that the neighbors? I opened the window because it was getting hot in here. But I've thought about doing TRT a lot, right? Because I'm so tired. It takes so much energy to work out when you're sick. And I've definitely thought about, you know, if you could just guarantee that I could do TRT and I wasn't going to have like a big, you know, problem trying to find a good dose, I would definitely do TRT, see if it helped with my energy, which I mean, I would sure would help me, but I'm just afraid of side effects. But yeah, if I wasn't sick, I don't even fucking know. I've been sick most of my life now, so, you know. Who knows? Anyway, so pool story before I go. TRT testosterone replacement. Because I got the testosterone actually of like an 80-year-old man. Never did any beers combos. I think Zhao has done some beers combos though. So if you want to see beers combos, I would recommend watching Zhao probably. But where am I? So the pool party before I go. So basically, you got to remember in real life, a lot of people that I talk to don't know that I'm a nerd, right? So a lot of people don't know that I've actually legitimately been good at video games, that I've like legitimately Daimao, thanks later, dude. Thanks to Daimao he's made a couple of the thumbnails that I've used in my videos. Thanks to him for that. So the pool story, Daimao's like, fuck this pool story. I've already heard it twice. I don't care. So the pool story before I go to tell the story again is, so a lot of times people in real life actually don't know that I've been legitimately good at video games because I just don't talk about it. And, you know, I try to stay away from the fighting game community, you know, for the most part. So I had met this one girl from other nerd friends, right? And so I see the girl, right? And she's a model girl. She's a model, right? And she's like, "You're Clayton? You're Clayton?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" So I don't think she probably heard about me being a pretty nerdy fucking dude with a Pikachu. And she's like, "You're Clayton? What the fuck?" Right? And she's like, anyway. So anyway, she invites me to a pool party. And, you know, there's like a couple other model girls there, whatever, right? So I get to this pool party the next week or whatever the fuck it is, right? And she comes up to me almost immediately, and she has a boyfriend, right? She comes up to me immediately and starts kissing me. And I'm like, whoa, hey, whoa, what the fuck is going on, dude, right? And she's like, "Oh, I'm just saying hello. Isn't that okay?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I guess," right? And so I kind of like pushed her away, right? And at the party, I wasn't super buff, but you know what I mean? This is kind of the threshold. Like I had enough, you know, I had enough abs to be cool, apparently. Like there's a lot of kind of like, you know, quotation marks, normal dudes or like some other nerd dudes, right? But no one was like in shape like me per se, right? So I mean, it's like, oh man, I was like, damn. So I'm like pushing this girl away. I'm like, okay, I just met you. This is only the second time I've seen you. And you're kissing me, so I'm going to push you away. I don't want to get beat up by your boyfriend at this fucking party. So anyway, so it was on the lips too. No, it was on the lips. It was not a cheek kiss. It was lips, right? Anyway, but so I pushed her away, and I remember I'm walking around. I'm saying hi to everybody. "What's up, Schattenmacher?" And so then this sugar baby comes up to me, and she's like, "Oh, you're Clayton? Oh, you're not as good looking as I thought you would be." And I'm looking at this bitch, and I'm like, huh, damn. The first thing you say to me is a neg? And like, I don't know if she's saying it because she's drunk and she's trying to be funny or whatever the fuck, but I mean, I had already gotten validation at the party. I am an insecure person, but I had already gotten validation at the party, and she wasn't hot enough to be insulting me the first thing she says. So I'm like, huh. I'm like, okay. And so like, I ignore this bitch. And so I tried to go in the pool for a little bit. But at a pool party, I quickly realized that why the fuck am I going to a pool party to relax? Like when you're in the pool, you got to swim. Like, fuck, that's making me tired. I don't want to fucking swim. So I'm like, I'm just going to go in the fucking hot tub, this whole thing. Fuck the pool. I'm going in the hot tub. So I go in the hot tub. I'm relaxing. I'm chilling, right? Sugar baby is coming over to me, right? And she's getting hammered because I'm not giving her any attention, right? At some point she's like, oh, normally, my sugar daddy right now, he's only getting me tickets to football games, but normally I like front row tickets, And I'm looking at this girl, I'm like, okay. And you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm like, I guess. You know what I mean? And there's some other people that are like looking at her weird, right? And so I'm kind of like ignoring this dude, like, I don't know, what do you mean your boyfriend has to get you a front row ticket, your sugar daddy? So anyway, she starts getting more and more drunk because I'm ignoring this girl, right? So at the party as well, there's a dude across from me, right? This dude, he's with his girlfriend. He's with this other model girl, right? So there's this model girl right here, and she's got big lips. And you guys know that I love big lips. It's the only thing I'm real kind of like biased towards. I love big lips. And she's looking at me. She's drunk, and she's giving me the biggest, fuck me look. I've one of the most biggest fuck me looks I've ever seen, right? She's biting her lips and everything, and the boyfriend is drunk and not even paying any attention to her. She's basically like, eye fucking me. Boyfriend has his arm over here like this, and she's just like, fuck me. And she's like whispering under her breath. And I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? God damn, right? Then model girl who invites me, who also has the boyfriend, she comes over and she starts like grinding on me. She like sits down on me and she starts talking to me where everyone can fucking hear, dude. And she's like, hey, Clayton, if I drowned, are you going to give me CPR? I might need to be resuscitated. And I'm like looking at her while she's like grinding on me, and there's a couple other dudes that are not completely hammered at this point, and they're like so shocked at like these events. They're like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on, dude? What are you gonna do? She has a boyfriend. And I'm like, dude, did she just say that? Like, what the fuck? And she's like grinding on my dick and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like getting harder and harder, right? So I'm like, oh my God, this is like a bad situation, dude, right? So she's like, Clayton, I'm going to go swim, but I might need to be resuscitated. And like people are looking at me like this is absolutely fucking ridiculous. So she leaves and she starts like swimming in the pool looking at me. And I'm like, of course I'm hard as fuck. So I'm like, I'm not going over you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not going over to the pool to swim with you when I'm like, I got this raging hard on, dude. Right? And I'm like, oh my God, this girl's about to get fucked if she comes over here and sits on me again, right? So what do? I try to be smart, and I'm like, okay, if this girl sits on me again, my boner is about to penetrate her, right? You know what I mean? So I put my hands like this, and I try to conceal the weapon, right? I try to conceal the situation here. So I put my hands over like this to conceal my boner, right? So she comes over, and she is fucking wasted again when she sees that I'm not like in the pool with her. She sits back down, and now she's grinding against my hand like this. And I think this girl thinks that this is actually my dick now. She is so drunk that I think she thinks my hand like this over my penis. I think she thinks that I have like a ridged dildo hentai penis. And she starts grinding against my hand like this. And I'm like, oh my God, she thinks that I have like some huge dick now. She's only going to be disappointed. Like, oh boy, she is in for a world of hurt if she thinks this is my dick, right? She's like grinding against like my big ridged hand like this, thinking it's like my dick. And I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous, right? And so there's still the one girl in the pool who her boyfriend is ignoring her. And she's like, oh, fuck me, right? And she's like looking at me, right? Then this other girl comes into the pool and she's hammered, right? She's hammered, and she comes into the pool and she is so wasted. She starts like dunking her head in the hot pool, and she's like, and like spits it in my face over and over. And she's like, and she's like, and like spits it in my face over and over. And I'm like, dude, I don't think you should be sucking up the hot water in the hot tub and spitting it in my face. It's kind of dirty. And she's like, oh, stop, it's fine. Keep spitting it in my face, dude. So I got model girl like rubbing up against my hand thinking it's my boner. I got girl spitting water in my face like this. I got other girl over here who her boyfriend is ignoring her, and she's like, give me this fuck me look. And then I look over and I see Sugar Baby. What's going on with Sugar Baby? Sugar Baby is completely passed out, dude. Sugar Baby just has her feet in the hot tub at this point, right? And her feet are just in the hot tub, and she's like passed out drunk, dude, right? And then another drunk dude comes over to her, and he's like, do you like raspberries? And he just goes over to her while she's drunk, and he's like, and starts like blowing on her stomach. while she's like drunk and passed out. So I'm like literally here, like, dude, you know what I mean? I'm like looking at, I'm like here, dude. I'm like here. I got model girl who has a boyfriend rubbing up against my hand who thinks that this is my dick now. I got one water girl spitting water at my face like this. I got one model girl who is fucking, man, she had big lips, and you know I fucking love big lips, so I'm hard as fuck. And then I got the sugar baby who is passed out here drunk with just her feet in the hot tub. And there's another drunk dude. He's just like blowing on her stomach, dude. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm just like looking around, like, how the fuck am I gonna get out of here? And there's like a couple other dudes who are not completely wasted too, and they're like so shocked at these events. They're just like staring at me, like, dude, what are you gonna do? Like, they're not even saying anything. They're just like, this is fucking ridiculous, right? And I'm like, this is this is fucking ridiculous, dude. And that's the raspberry story. So I don't know if you guys like that. I have never been to a party before. I have never seen an adult give another adult a raspberry. The only time I've ever seen a raspberry, like a raspberry is something that, like, you know what, like when you're a kid and you got that one weird uncle that is just like giving you a raspberry and you're like, that's fucking weird. I don't like it. I'm a kid. Don't raspberry me. Like, you know, I'm too old for that shit. But I have never seen two adults give each other raspberries. But in this situation, I did. So that's the raspberry story, right? Well, how I got out of the story is not as funny as that part. You know what I mean? How I got out of that story. It's not as fun as the rest of the story. It's not as so. I would like to leave on a good note. I would like to leave on a funny note, right? That's where I would like to leave, right? You know what I mean? I would like to leave on a funny note because the ending is not as funny as the raspberry. You know what I mean? The raspberry part, watching someone get a raspberry is a much better way to end the story. I did not have sex with every single girl, right? I'm sorry if that's what you want. I did not have sex with every single girl, but that was a pretty that was a funny pool party, right? I mean, I gotta leave, you know. I wish, no, dude, I wish like that one girl with the big lips, because you know I love big lips. I was thinking about it. Like, okay, I'll tell you about this though. I will say this. It's pretty normal to raspberry someone, is it? So I can say what happened with the one girl with big lips, and it's probably still on my Facebook. I'm sure you could see the comment. So after I got home, I friended some of these people because I had just met them, right? And model girl with the big lips, right? Model girl with the big lips who had the boyfriend, right? No joke. And this comment is probably still on my, you know what? Just for sake of argument, I'm going to see if it's still on my Facebook. I'm sure it is because I haven't deleted the comment. Let me just look. I'll look. I'll just see if it's still on my comment. No, I don't want to give her name because I don't want people like looking these people up, but I'm going to see if the comment is still there. I can see. Oh, are you going to fucking freeze Facebook? You got to be fucking kidding me. Did Facebook? Oh, everything just froze. God damn it. You got to be fucking kidding me. Are you serious? Everything just froze. Oh, are we back? Oh, man. What is going on? Oh, come on. I don't want to fight about this. I'm trying to get this to work. What's going on with this thing, dude? Okay. Let's see if I can find the comment. Oh boy, this is going slow. Yes, okay, this is the picture, I think, right? Did she delete her comment? Huh. Did she really do? Okay, well, maybe she deleted her comment. I know she unfriended me after. It's been a while, but anyway, the point is, maybe it was a different picture. Maybe it was a different picture, but point is, after this, I friended everybody on it. We friended each other on Facebook, right? And she commented on one of my pictures, and she was engaged to a guy too. And she commented on one of my pictures. She was like, "I just want to tell." I had a selfie up, and she's like, "I don't want to tell," or she's like, "I just want to tell you that I would never get with a guy who takes selfies." And I looked at this thing, and I just friended this girl, and I'm like, don't you have a boyfriend? I'm like, I don't think you should be saying that on my shit, right? I'm like, what do you mean you shouldn't get with me? Or you wouldn't get with me or get with any guy that has selfies? And I was like, what the fuck? Well, I know I can look up her name, but it might have been on a different picture. I thought she commented on this one picture, so it might have been a different picture actually. But I got hundreds of pictures on my fucking Facebook, so I don't know. I thought it was on this one picture. I thought it was on this picture, but I guess it might be a different one, right? Oh, well, maybe I'll look for that. I wonder what picture did she comment on? Oh, well, I suppose that's not too important to the story, but unless was it this? I mean, there's a lot of comments on this one. This is a lot of comments. Yeah, I got hundreds of selfies, I guess. I don't feel like looking through all of this. Oh, I remember that girl. Wow, I forgot that girl. Huh. Some of these girls, I forgot about them. Oh, well. Anyway. Yo, Clayton, you got kind of thick. Did I get thick? What are you talking about? Is this me looking thick? Anyway, dudes, anything else before I go? Talk about anything else? Man, I've been streaming for a while. Spicy nips. Oh, I got bit by a bug right there. Anyway, dudes, anything else? Like I said, PayPal, Super Chat, Snapchat, where the fuck. If you want to support the channel, you can do that kind of shit. Yada, 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 yada. Facedile Dante asked if you banned him from chatting or not. I don't even know who is Facedile Dante. I don't even know what that means. What is Facedile Dante? I already talked about the Chris G stuff. It's at the beginning. You guys can watch that again. I already talked about the Chris G stuff. Anything else, guys, before I go? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, no, I don't know. Who's Facedile Dante? I don't even know. I mean, is this like a hater or something that I blocked before or something? I don't remember any dude named Facedile Dante on this, though. I don't remember any dude Facedile Dante on my chat. I mean, I can look up Facedile Dante. I can look up who do I have blocked on my YouTube. I can look up who is blocked on my YouTube, I think, real quick. Excuse me. Excuse me. Where's your fucking blocked people on YouTube? I don't fucking know. Where do you see who you blocked on YouTube? Channel permissions? Community? Oh, community. Yes, okay, that person, Facial Dante, is actually on my blocked list. That dude was blocked a long time ago, it says. That dude was blocked a long time ago, it says. So he's probably bullshitting about something and I blocked him. Maybe he made up some bullshit about me. I don't know. It says he's been blocked for a long time, though. Anyway. Anything else? It says he's been blocked for a while, so he must have said something, if that's the same guy. I just copied it, but... anything else? Yeah, no, I checked it. Yeah, it says he's been blocked for a while on my community thing. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people here. Like I said, I can't keep up with all the people that hate me in the community. There's just like, do you hear me scrolling? Hundreds and hundreds of people have been blocked. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like I said, watch the chat earlier if you want to hear the other stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Man, dudes, thanks.